They're worried about being taken advantage of. But at Sun Automotive, our compass is welded true north. Our focus isn't to make the most money. It's about making sure your 16-year-old granddaughter makes it over the pass in the middle of the night with no cell service and gets there. At the end of the day, our focus is your trust. For the best service under the sun, come to Sun Automotive.
Your best coverage of the Oregon Ducks is this fall right here on the Sports Animal Audio Network. 3.5 hours before every Oregon football game, we will be live with interviews, a breakdown of the game, coverage of all the games in the Big Ten, Pac-12, and Top 25, along with ways for you, the fans, to join in. If you're in Eugene for the game, we'll be live from the Mercedes-Benz USA Eugene lot on MLK Boulevard. Stop by for some treats, games, and the best coverage of the Ducks by anyone. The Unauthorized Tailgate Show. We might not have the official stamp, but we wipe out the competition on our coverage. This fall, each week, the Unauthorized Oregon Tailgate Show, presented by Mercedes-Benz USA of Eugene, our friends at Coquel Casino and Resort, Tracktown Pizza, Mid-Valley Tractor, and the Back Nine.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. Got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
You just finished listening to the Bald-Faced Truth Unfiltered with John Canzano. For more local sports, stick around for a few moments to listen to The Drive with me, Danny Havel, along with my best friends, Justin Grossweiner and Steve Mims, on the Sports Animal Audio Network. KORE Springfield, Eugene. I'm Danny Havel. You can listen to me on The Drive, weekdays from 3 to 6 on the Sports Animal Eugene.
10, 9, 7,
Dude, I am
6,
totally stuck.
5,
It's
4,
about time.
3,
My God!
2,
Okay, it's happening.
1.
Are you ready? Are you ready? I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your...
You're listening to Oregon's premier afternoon sports show. This is The Drive.
Woo! Welcome, friends. 3 hours that you can set aside every single day, where you can put a smile on your face, a song in your heart, and a skip in your step. Welcome to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network, live in Roseburg, in Newport, in Medford, and hello there, Klamath Falls. We got you, baby. Also on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, streaming the show live. You can see our smiling faces. Some of us are smiling. Some of us are just staring. Oh, there it is. And on the social, Sports Animal EUG. On the website, sportsanimalEUG.com. The Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-844-3484, the Eugene area. That's where we originate this program from. And toll-free, 877-844-3484, live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. I am Danny Halbert. You can call me Doc. My tag team partner to the right, the second amigo, Steve Mims. Call him Goose.
Hi, Danny.
Hello. And then the third amigo, Chevy Chase, Justin Grossweiner, Baby J. What a boy.
I don't know if that's a compliment. I don't know if I want to be referred to as Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase was pretty good back. It's been about 25 years since he's had a moment, but he had some moments.
Come on, man.
Before about the time you were born and maybe a little before.
I heard he wasn't a super nice guy.
He was not a super nice guy, but all you got to do is watch Caddyshack.
Or Fletch.
That's fair.
Or Fletch.
Well, you know, a lot of these
Mims
guys
loved
are nice
his
guys,
Fletch.
so.
Mims loves his Fletch. Again, they could have stopped at one. They could have stopped right there.
No doubt.
Okay.
Same with Caddyshack.
So we'll get into that. Listen, when we get deep, like closer into the holiday season where they, have the big blockbusters come out, we'll definitely be diving into movies. Hello, friends. Thanks for tuning in on our affiliate stations in Klamath Falls, as I said, Roseburg, Newport, and Medford, and more coming on board, kids. I got a sneak preview for you. We're going to add at least one more affiliate on next week. How about that? Right?
It's a surprise.
Yeah,
I knew about all the other ones.
I am going to keep this under wraps until maybe tomorrow. I might be able to reveal it tomorrow.
You going to save it for the Power Party Hour?
The Party Power Hour?
Is that what we're calling it? I
forgot.
forgot.
It's not the Power Party Hour. That remember we said that didn't sound. It's the. Okay, now I'm messed up. The Party Power Hour is the easier way to put that, right?
I asked you this last time, but is it Beaver Connor? Is this where we're going to be on? Because I love Beaver Connor. I get to be on there.
No, I don't think so. Not according what. No, we're not. So, friends, if again you want to chime in, the toll-free number is there for you. We're paying for it. 877-844-3484. 541-844-3484. 1 day away from high school football. 0 week in high school football. A lot of jamborees, but there will be high school football tomorrow night. And we will have a statewide scoreboard show for you on all of these affiliate stations starting at 9:30 tomorrow night. You want to stay right here where you're dialed in right now. When you're driving home from your game, you're going to want to have your radio station on because we will give you all of the statewide updates from all the scores that we can gather tomorrow night. And we'll do that every single week throughout the high school season. How about that as well? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. How do you like them apples? So, boys, here we got the schedule. I'm going to put it up here. Hold it up in front of
blocking your.
I was doing that on purpose.
Blocking your pretty face.
Actually, so Justin does a really nice job typing all this stuff out, and then Goose edits, and then we get to our final version.
Edited anything?
We get
in
to
show
the
maybe on
final
the fly.
version.
But I don't edit anything.
You didn't like the
glitter
dinosaur.
The glitter.
Yeah. Well, we got past that. Listen,
we didn't edit it. I just sat it out. There was no editing.
It was
I just
60
sat it out.
It was 60 seconds out of your life. Okay, that was all it was. Mitch Dolan audio today and Braden Atkinson. It's all the rage right now. And talking about Mitch Dolan's going to discuss when he was scouting him when he was at Alabama. Angie Machado is going to join us. So we're going to talk a lot of Oregon State in this first hour. I'm getting the assumption here.
Yeah.
Because we're also going to fold in the Civil War, the rivalry series.
Goose will love that one.
Oregon State soccer tonight at Pape Field, 6 p.m. We had Tracy join around the program yesterday. Big show yesterday, by the way, Goose, that you missed. 4 guests. We had a record. We were able to get 4.
Didn't need me if you got 4
No,
guests.
we always need you, but we are able to get 4 guests in because the way you ask your questions, they talk longer for the explanations. Matt Dompe, the Godfather from the Eugene Emerald, is going to join us top of hour number 2. Should other major sports leagues follow suit with the NFL Pro Bowl and cancel their all-star games? I love this topic. I absolutely love this topic, and I've got a different spin on it. We'll talk about that in hour number 2. There's a big partnership from Oregon football with a Japanese, is it a network? I haven't read enough on it yet. I'm going to bone up on it before we get to it in hour number 2. And then Baby J had a tough time last night trying to watch baseball. So we'll kind of give him a counseling session here.
Not just baseball. Major League.
Everything? Oh.
No, the movie.
Oh, the movie.
Yes, I get.
Oh,
So
I
much
thought it was
flack.
baseball.
No, I get so much flack.
So you tried to watch it last night and you couldn't?
tried. Last night I was saying I was gonna try to watch it.
I thought it was baseball too.
Well, this is why we're talking about it. I'm glad we had our pre-production meeting. I tried to watch the movie that everybody's been
I
getting
appreciate you got my back, buddy.
on my butt about for not watching.
And you
I
tried. You
legitimately-
made the attempt.
I looked at the 3 or 4 different streaming services that I have, and I did not find it on any of them.
All right, so we'll discuss this because I want to know what streaming services you were on, and then we're going to find it. Okay, so
But I think this leads into a discussion about not just with television, but how many different streaming services are there for all the different sports at this point? You have Netflix that's hopping into the Home Run Derby, and did they do the All-Star Game as well, I think?
yeah, that whole
But you know what I'm
Netflix
saying?
thing.
You know,
I get it.
now there's gonna
because
be-
Amazon's in there, Prime's in there.
Right, and
Yeah,
the
they've stuck their
NFL,
face in the
it's on a
NFL.
bunch of stuff. So I just think
which
it's getting
I
out of
don't like.
control at this point. So I want to talk about it.
Okay. So, by the way, Goose, you're back. So, how'd you play yesterday? You played golf with your lovely wife.
Yeah, we did the
And-
Wednesday Oakway women's thing. It was
So
good.
were you
I was
4 inches away from the cup this time again?
No. I started double, which isn't a good thing at
Ooh.
Oakway. You shouldn't do that at Oakway. So it was a rough one.
So he likes his drinks, but not his golf game.
yeah, good point. They do have the cart that delivers the drinks, so there were a couple of those that were going on. But
That almost made Danny spit out.
it was
his.
fun. It was a nice sunny day out there. It's always an adventure out there on Women's Day. Sometimes there was one tee box we were standing on and looked like the folks out in the fairway were just going to kind of continue their conversation. They weren't worried about hitting the ball. They were going to get that conversation done with before they hit the ball.
Did you rain a ball in on it?
No, it's Women's Day. You don't say anything when you're the man. But I told my wife, I said, just let them, you two ladies finish your conversation. Don't worry about us back here. And they spent about 5 minutes going back and forth, gesturing a lot of things. And then she decided to go hit her ball after that.
Come on, while we're
and
young.
she was nice enough then to say, you guys want to play through? And we said, yeah, we got there. And she's like, yeah, you should play through. We just chat a lot. I'm like, yeah, okay. So we got cruising after that. There are a couple of pars mixed in later, but not a great day.
Weather was fantastic.
Weather was
wasn't it?
beautiful. Oh, it was unbelievable. Yeah,
I mean, mid 70s right now, no wind. If
Yeah.
you're a golfer, that's like, for me, it's primo.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Justin, do you get outside today? During the day, you did. You get.
Yeah,
When I
my
came
break,
back,
when
you
I
weren't
was,
here.
I walked inside of my house, so the distance between my car and my apartment was outside. It was nice today.
You walked inside your house. That was your
Yeah,
break
I made a steak at my house
for lunch.
for lunch. Yeah.
Did you take a nap afterwards? Did you go
No.
sleepy time for a second?
No.
There's no Goose.
Did you get the one out of the freezer, or is that still?
No,
in there?
it's still there.
I'm gonna cook that thing one of these nights if you just date them. I'm getting a little hungry.
So, Goose, could you eat a steak in the middle of the day and then finish the rest of the day? Because there's no way. I had a small salad at Laurelwood with our friend, the Godfather, who's coming in, and that was enough for me. I can't eat heavy in the middle of the day.
Yeah, not much. I mean, I had chicken sandwich. I don't know if that's heavy for you. I don't
No,
like
it's not.
chicken
Chicken's
sandwich,
fine.
so-
But you had a steak. Like, how big
Yeah.
was this steak?
7,
8 ounces?
something like that. Yeah.
Justin.
A regular steak. I didn't really have much else with it. I didn't have any sides. Mostly just had the meat, which I'm
Sides.
good with.
You didn't have the $42,000 in sides.
No. Well, when you
That's
make it yourself, you have to do it yourself. Unfortunately.
Do you know what reference that is?
I
Goose?
don't really have the energy to start barbecuing that early in the day. That's the reason I don't have a steak going that time.
'Cause you can't do it on the stovetop. You wouldn't do a steak on the stovetop.
I never have. I don't think I would, but I've never thought about it. I just throw it on the barbecue.
Okay.
See, I wish I could do that. I have to do it on the stovetop.
Oh, there you go.
It's not a bad way to do it if you do it with the good sear.
You don't have a porch?
I don't
in
think
the
I can.
apartment?
I do. I don't think I
Just get a
could.
small hibachi type thing. You could do that. Just do a single steak, single guy.
All right.
You
I
can
don't
do
wanna- I
that.
don't want to burn down.
We're
the
not
entire
going to
place.
burn everything down. Oh,
I don't know if I'm
Mary
allowed
and
to do
Joseph.
that. I'd have to look at the handbook.
There's a
The
guy.
HOA. The HOA.
Yeah, somebody. But if you're on the top floor, it's not like the smoke or the is
That's
going
true.
upwards. You're up on top, so it's not going to like filter out down below.
It's worth
right?
looking into. They do have a community one though, actually. A
that you.
community grill.
But that's a lot of time, especially at lunchtime. You're
That's
not going
true.
down there getting that
Right.
fired up and all that. Okay,
Right.
So well, good. All right, so we got that figured out. By the way, friends, your phone calls are certainly welcome at 541-844-3484. Toll free 877-844-3484. By the way, want to give a shout out. We're going to have some friends that have helped us bring this program to you, like Meltdown Candle Works, which is a source for clean and sustainable candles made with 100% USA grown soy wax and cotton wicks. Meltdown Candle Works, the home for officially licensed Oregon Ducks candles, proud supporter of Willamette High School Athletics. Visit them at meltdowncandleworks.com. One of our friends here on the drive. And statewide, we are coming into your ears. And next, Mitch Dolan. You're going to hear him talk about Braden Atkinson. They're all about this quarterback now, this transfer, this kid from Mercer up there in Corvallis. Bottom of the hour, Angie Machado. Ace will be with us from Beaver's Blitz, Oregon State Soccer, all in this first hour. Matt Dompe, hour number 2. We're just getting underway here on The Drive and the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Our version of the Knucklehead Society have a place to talk sports and life with you. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios, you're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Make the most of your summer with an end-of-season road trip and some fantastic savings on a new Chevy or GMC at Kendall Chevrolet GMC of Eugene. Lease a new 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT Crew Cab 4x4 at just $395 per month for 36 months with $2,895 cash or trade equity due at signing, or get 0% APR. Take $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2026 GMC Sierra 3500 Denali Ultimate Crew Cab 4x4. Stop by Kendall Chevrolet GMC of Eugene and save today. Kendall, let's start something great.
VIN number TZ419764 and TF249826. $0 security deposit based on 10,000 miles per year. See lease posting at Kendall Chevrolet GMC or call 877-371-8620 for complete lease details. 0% APR for up to 60 months with $1,667 for $1,000 borrowed. All financing on approved credit. Price does not include title registration or tax. Subject to prior sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 8/31/26.
Bigfoot, summer's here. Yep. Which means everyone is heading outdoors searching for Bigfoot. Huh, good luck. Camping? Yep. Fishing? Yep. River trips? Yep. So if someone wants to find Bigfoot this summer, where should they look? Not telling. Oh, come on. Nope. Fine. What's the one thing that'll bring you out of hiding? Oh, Foresters. Big burgers, all-day breakfast, cold drinks, and a patio that's perfect after a day outdoors. Foresters Bar and Grill. Big portions, big flavor. Bigfoot approved.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinics step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission. License number TC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debts may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Live on stations throughout Oregon. We're sorry, we couldn't stop them.
This isn't a negotiation.
Broadcasting from the Emerald City, Eugene, this is The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Whether it's Friday Night Lights or everyday life, every winning team needs a strong defense. For local insurance coverage you can count on, score big with Mike Tingnews, State Farm Insurance in Eugene. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. This is The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network. Got you covered too, Lee Lake. Love you folks in the basin at AM 960 Sports, KLAD, Rob and Josh and Scott and the gang down there in K Falls. Our buddy Joey Kieran on the score. You'll be hearing him on Roseburg High School football tomorrow night, 1490 AM, 92.3 FM. Over on the coast, it's Viper and Fox Sports Newport, KNCU 92.7, and then, of course, we cannot forget. And I need to put them up in the reads a little bit. Ace Sports Radio, 107.9, 1300 AM, KDSO, Joe, Pete, Boomer, the Marshall boys, all those guys down there.
Boomer Marshall?
You
The
know
old
Boomer?
South Medford quarterback.
Oh, man.
Lefty. He was a left-handed quarterback.
He does a show.
I don't know him. He wouldn't know me. I just covered high school football, and Boomer Marshall was a legendary left-handed quarterback down there.
Does a show there on Ace.
Nice.
I think that's at noon, like noon to 2, and then they do Canzano just like we do, with Ball-Faced Truth Unfiltered, and then I think they repeat the show like 6 to 8 right after we're done.
Cool. Boomer was a character. He'd be really good on radio. That
Maybe we need to get Boomer on the show here.
Yeah.
There you go.
do a
Well,
little
we already have
cross
hang on. We already have a Boomer. Blaine Libertor's Boomer.
Well,
we
he's
can't have two
our-
Boomers.
No, wait a second. He's
we can't have two Boomers.
He's our Boomer. There's
All right.
another Boomer. I think so. I don't.
We'll just call him Mr. Marshall. We can't have two Boomers.
Do we want to get in some audio? Do you feel like a third wheel right now,
It's
Baby
okay.
J?
You gotta know your spots. Sometimes
Okay.
it'll be me and you. Sometimes it'll be me and Steve.
Well, it's you and me
Butt
all-
into you guys' conversation.
All show yesterday, but we talked a lot about your steak.
True.
So
We did talk a lot about my steak, a lot more than I would have thought.
All right, Mitch Dolan is really excited, and I think Jamarcus Shepard is as well, as Oregon State's made their decision at quarterback. And some people might have been surprised. I think there was, and let me ask you guys. And I'll start with you, Baby J, and then Goose, you chime in. Are we really surprised Malik Murphy wasn't named the starter? Because I'm not necessarily surprised. Are you surprised?
I'm not super surprised, but as I said, my take on it before was I think you wanted Malik Murphy to win the job. He has the highest potential. I haven't seen Braden Atkinson play that much, so I can't sit there and say, well, they made a bad decision. I'm not saying that. He definitely sounds like earned the job, but I'm not super surprised based on what we've talked about. Is that I don't think that based on the way they've treated Malik Murphy that he's in their plans. Like they're not building things around Malik Murphy at this point, very clearly. So I'm ultimately not surprised they didn't start him.
There wasn't a clear enough number one candidate for me to be surprised. This wasn't Brock Thomas being announced as the starter over Dompe Moore.
Yeah.
But as we had talked about it with Justin, in the back of my head, it was with that schedule, they're going to start the veteran and send him out there for 2, knowing that maybe he gives him the better chance because he's played in big games before.
Let him get beat up a little bit.
And then the same thing. And if the quarterback gets beat up, then it's Malik who does. And then you can bring in Atkinson at 0-2. And if the fan base is kind of like, oh, what happened? Well, we're going to re-inspire the fan base and bring in this guy to face Montana, a much better debut. But I give him credit for going this way because this is the old Justin Herbert. Remember, they started Justin Herbert's
put him
first
out
game
there
against the Huskies and they lost 70-10. But it was sort of everybody was like, why are you putting him out there for this one? Why not wait one more week? But that was the Helfrich thing. It was like, hey, every game we're going to try to win.
Yep.
We may be 30-point underdogs, but we're going to try to win, and we're going to put the best team out there. So props to Mitch and to Jamarcus for putting them out there. But it's not a surprise, but I would have thought they'd go the other way that I talked about, putting the veteran out there for the first 2.
Mitch Dolan is the OC at Oregon State, and he talked about when he was scouting Braden Atkinson.
Yeah, so I want to add a little bit on here.
Yeah.
When he was at Alabama, they were scouting him because they were looking at the defense of Auburn, basically. And Auburn had played Mercer earlier in the season.
So they saw him on
him
film.
on tapes. And so this is what his thoughts were kind of at the time.
Yeah, it was still, I was still in Bama mode at the time, but watching his tape, I still remember it because I was just talking to Ty yesterday, and when Braden got announced, Ty still remembers it too. As we're watching that game because it's the week before us, and you see this little 6'1", 6 foot kid is just chucking it in that environment. Like that environment's incredible, and he didn't flinch. I think that was the thing I loved the most. Is like he's sitting there with an FCS offensive line against the SEC defensive line, and he's hanging in there and getting the ball out. So that was when we watched it. I was not thinking portal. I was not thinking Oregon State. I was just watching it as a fan of quarterbacks and tough quarterbacks specifically. Is watching him hang in there in battle, and then kind of as this came about, and obviously getting into crazy portal season, and when he was in there, it was a natural, like, oh yeah, I've watched his tape just as a quarterback before I'm evaluating can he do it for us and all that stuff. But yeah, he had my respect before the Iron Bowl, and then obviously seeing the Auburn defense the next week, I was like, yeah, no, those guys were legit. So it was was cool to see him do it, and then to see that same crew with us doing it was it kind of helped me down the line, honestly.
I like Mitch Dolan, but I'm just going to say I don't know how legit Auburn was last year. Okay,
But
I'm just going to
Should've
say
been better than Mercer.
they were. So I mean, in the context that he was talking about, I think that is interesting because it's like I'm watching this tape and I don't know where I'm going to be at Oregon State. You know, at that point when he was watching, he's going, "Wow, this kid's pretty good." Going up against, and yeah, I mean, going into Jordan Hare. I've been in that stadium, and when that place is packed, and it normally is, even if they're a 7-6 team, that it's still packed there. People literally camp in Auburn. You ever been to Auburn, Alabama?
I have not.
Have you?
No, but my brother-in-law teaches there.
Oh, just the 6 degrees of separation of Goose, Steve Mims. The teams can't stay. It's kind of like Corvallis in some respects. The teams can't stay in Auburn because they don't have enough hotels with enough conference room space to be able to hold people.
Stay in Opelika?
So they stay in Birmingham or Montgomery. I think it's Birmingham. I want to say it's Birmingham. So I know it was a bus ride because I was there with Kansas State. This is what we had to do. But my point is that the people in Auburn, I know I'm getting off track here. People in Auburn, though, they literally camp there the entire season.
I'm sure.
They take their RVs and they work from their RVs if they're still working, and they camp the entire season. They get there in August and they stay through November. It's crazy. And Toomer's Corner, when they win, that's nuts. It's crazy there.
I like the Mitch Dolan's quietly name dropping. I was talking to Ty yesterday.
Yeah.
I was just talking to NFL first round pick, Rams backup quarterback Ty.
Simpson.
It's a good little recruiting
Talking
thing
to
to
Ty.
toss out there. Hey, just in case some high school recruit out there is tuning into this thing. I was just talking to Ty the other day. Me and Ty hanging out. So I thought that was good. I thought for sure when Justin said that he watched him at Mercer, it was going to be an anti-SEC that Alabama had played Mercer in week 11 as they normally do, but it was. But apparently Auburn did, so that's good.
No,
there.
that's good. Good on you, Justin. Attaboy.
But yeah, I think that's really. I mean, and interesting that and I guess that's the world these days, though, right? Because if you're scouting another team and it doesn't matter if it's FCS or another one, if you see a player on that other team who looks good, you probably take a mental note, and I'm sure that at the time Mitch obviously didn't know he was going to be at Oregon State. But even at the time, he's probably thinking that guy might be a good backup next year for us here at Alabama, or if I end up getting a job somewhere. So it feels like if you're watching video of any level of football at this point, no matter where you're at, you're taking some notes if you see somebody because you're thinking this might be somebody who comes around.
Well, let's get Mitch Dolan's thoughts on what he thinks that Braden Atkinson is good at.
Like, we didn't name him now because the other 3 or other 2 were pushing him the whole way. So he truly didn't really. Like, he did a great job. The other 2 did a great job on Saturday, was really the separator in the scrimmage. But a credit to Brady and a credit to Malik. Like, they pushed him the whole way. So that was the coolest thing for me is like this wasn't like done in the spring. Like, it truly happened at this time, which was great for the whole room. Like, I have 3 starting quarterbacks that can go win us games. It just happens to have 2 out there taking the snaps. But no, what he does well is he takes care of the ball, and the ball just moves. Like, it was kind of what I talked about before, is he just is able to move the ball down the field. And we've tracked every single drive with those free call periods. And no, he's been awesome. And his dad talks about it is like when he first showed up on the visit, like it seemed like we've known each other forever. We're just talking ball on the board and like the speed dating thing, honestly, I didn't hate. Is like it just gets to the nuts and bolts. Is where we're not taking you around town. Like, you're seeing the facility and we're talking football, and that was the coolest thing. Is we just immediately kind of clicked and started talking ball, and yeah, it's been great. He's a great kid, great family, and yeah, I'm excited to see what he does with it.
Mitch Dolan on Braden Atkinson, who was named the Oregon State starting quarterback by Jamarcus Shepard. You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network. Your calls, toll-free, 877-844-3484. In Eugene, it's 541-844-3484. That's the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline, live from the Bigfoot Beverages studios. And guys, as I listen to Mitch Dolan, and I've heard Jamarcus Shepard talk about this offense, and I'm trying to figure out what the offense is going to look like. And Sam, you're shaking your head.
That's kind of what I'm doing, too.
And I'm thinking, you know what? I see this being more of a pro style. They are not going to go dual threat. They are going to drop back. They're going to go pro style. They're going to try and smash between the tackles. They're going They're going to do like the little inside screens. They are going to do that type of offense, I think. And that's why they named Braden Atkinson as quarterback.
Well, it sounds like they want to get somebody that gets the ball out of their hands quickly and makes decisions and gets the ball wherever they have the play designed to do. You said, I like how he moves the ball, which doesn't say to me, oh, this guy's got a super great arm.
3-step drop,
fit it
bang,
into
bang.
This tight window. Like, this is somebody that I think is going to know an offense and that's going to be able to be like a point guard. Not necessarily somebody that you're going to get in there. Like Malik Murphy's the arm talent guy, which showed how much that worked for them last year. So I think that's the difference in style. He's not a big guy. He's clearly not someone that's going to scramble too much. So I think he's going to have to be that quick release point guard type of quarterback.
First off, congratulations to Mitch Dolan for being able to effusiently talk about his quarterback without having to instantly say, but the other guys are good too. Nope, don't worry, the other guys are good too. That's
well, he kind of did that
in a while. I've heard
you really are still hanging on to that.
First time I've heard a guy actually talk like 6 straight sentences about his quarterback without feeling like he had to protect the others. So good job on that one there. Yeah. So are you thinking that it's are we thinking he's behind? I mean, he's under center. Are we thinking this is a Terry Bradshaw, Mike Webster? He's taking the snap behind center. Or are we thinking he's behind?
I think we're going to see some of that.
Okay.
Honestly, I do. I think they're going to go a little bit old school with some things. Listen. This is the unknown. We don't know. Jamarcus Shepard was a position coach at Alabama. He wasn't the OC. Mitch Dolan
was an analyst.
Well, and then so what do we have on a record of Mitch Dolan in terms of what he likes to run? But
not much.
No, we don't. So I think it's going to be very interesting. Maybe Angie Machado knows something. Believe me, she's a lot smarter than we are. And so we're going to bring in ace Angie Machado from Beaver's Blitz next. We'll talk a little bit more Oregon State here on The Drive. This is the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Iconic summer moments deserve an iconic drink. Reach for Mountain Dew, an American original. From its beginnings in the foothills of Tennessee to your biggest summer yet. The refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew is the perfect companion to your American summer adventures. Enjoy the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Tasting great since 48. Look for Mountain Dew in stores near you at mountaindew.com. That's mountaindew.com.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is on now at Kendall Ford. Get to Kendall and get 0% APR, $1,000 towards your down payment, and even a complimentary 2-year premium maintenance plan. Available on select new 2026 Ford models. Get up to $11,000 in discounts off MSRP on all remaining 2025 Super Duty trucks. A new 4-wheel drive 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Heritage is priced at only $29,990. Or get into a new all-wheel drive 2026 Ford Maverick XL Crew Cab, now just $29,630. Get in on the Ford Summer Sales Event and stop by Kendall Ford today. Kendall, let's start something great.
Bid number 1FSED 79864, 3F SRF 02030, and 3F PRB 01616. Financing and approved credit $27.78 per month per $1,000 finance. See dealer for qualification. The complete list of eligible vehicles, coverage details, and limitations. All factory rebates subject to change. Price does not include title registration or tax. Subject to prior sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 3126.
It kind of sneaks up on you. You're more tired than you should be, a little less focused, a little less motivated. Maybe you've gained a little weight. It's normal. A lot of men experience it, but that doesn't mean you have to live with it. At Hale Men's Clinic, personalized testosterone therapy can help you restore your energy, your clarity, your edge. Real solutions, real results. Hale Men's Clinic. Feel good now. Curious about your levels? Walk into Hale Men's Clinic in Eugene, Bend, or Roseburg for your free testosterone test today. More info at halemensclinic.com.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the OSAA, are the 99,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Oregon. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible. because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Sometimes they're right.
I rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Medford, Newport, Roseburg, Klamath Falls, we got you covered. Also, the originating station in the Emerald City, Eugene, Oregon. Thanks for tuning into the Sports Animal Audio Network. This is The Drive, the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline, locally at 541-844-3484 in Eugene. Toll free. We'll pay for the call outside of the Eugene area, 877-844-3484, live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. I'm Doc, there's Baby J and Goose, and let's head on over to the Oregon Man Clinic's hotline and welcome in the founder, the owner of Beaver's Blitz, and our good friend. You can follow her, Angie Machado 1. It's our dear friend Ace, Angie Machado, who covers Oregon State better than anybody else in the world. Angie, welcome back to the program. How are things?
Things are good. I don't know about in the world, but
yes, no, in the world.
That is quite the endorsement there.
It is well deserved and earned. So, Angie, I want to start. We've heard from Mitch Dolan in the last segment about on how he saw Braden Atkinson when he was at Alabama and they were watching the Auburn game, Mercer and Auburn, and he was like, he wasn't thinking, I'm going to be at Oregon State and I'm going to have this kid or whatever, and then what he's good at and such. But can we wind it back just one half click because we had talked about this, and I think you had some insight that there was truly a quarterback battle and that Malik Murphy might have been losing his grip on what could have been his starting position. And obviously now it's Braden Atkinson. So can you give us some insight on how you kind of saw this progress throughout the last few weeks with this team?
Yeah, you watch it, coming into camp, you kept hearing how it was still an open competition. We had heard that, it was interesting because I had, good sources who, kept telling me, Braden Atkinson, keep an eye on him, keep an eye on Atkinson. But then, as soon as you, kind of start to think that was the way it was going, then I'd get a call that, well, gosh, Brady Jones lit it up today. So, that was, I think that those two were really kind of, and Malik as well. Malik obviously has the biggest arm in the room. There's not even close. He can throw it a mile. But the word, and I might have said this last week, but the thing that kept coming out with Braden Atkinson was consistency. And different people I spoke with that had been around the program kept just talking about his consistency. And so in my head, I've been around this long enough. Coaches want consistent quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard about 2 weeks ago that Atkinson was kind of leading the charge. But then after that first scrimmage, I heard Brady Jones actually took a huge step. So I think this has kind of been the idea for a little bit now, that Atkinson might have had a slight lead. I was not surprised because this is kind of the direction I saw this trending.
And now we have a couple of the puzzle pieces. Now we know Mitch Dolan was going to be calling the plays. Now we know who the quarterback's going to be, which is just, it's awesome. Now we can finally kind of think about what this offense is going to look like. So now that we know, what more do you think this offense is going to look like now?
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I think what we're going to see is a pass, a passing first offense, which is going to be different for Beaver fans who are used to seeing Oregon State kind of maybe rely on the run. I still think the struggle is going to be up front with the line. I think Oregon State will make some adjustments to try to camouflage some of the weaknesses on the line. I think they've improved a ton since spring, but I still think that is the weakness of this offense. I love the receiver room. Oregon State for a couple years now, they've always been, the bread and butter has always been having one of those small shifty slot receivers that can kind of do a lot, kind of sneak around. But I felt in the past couple years they had too many of those guys, and not enough bigger bodied guys that could go, one-on-one with a linebacker or safety. We have that now. Oregon State has some bigger bodied guys, and then I also love the tight ends. They went in the portal, they got some tight end help. Big bodies, I love some of these matchups. Eric Olson's one to watch. Decorian Temple. those guys are really going to help the passing game. So I see this being a more open, quick tempo, moving the ball down the field type of offense.
Angie, if you're Jamarcus Shepard, are you intrigued by that opening up with Houston and Texas Tech and kind of throwing your guys out there? Or would you rather have maybe had Montana first and then another? How do you think that opening with 2 top 25 teams kind of impacts maybe the way that they've had fall camp and any kind of roster decisions going into the opener?
Well, if I'm Shepard, I like it because I've covered a lot of football, and I think it's just human nature. When you're opening up against an opponent maybe that isn't really a lot better than you, it's easy to maybe look down on that opponent and maybe not take it quite as seriously. So there is they have not been able to take their foot off the gas at all during fall camp. I also think it bodes well because of Shepard and his mannerisms. He's such a intense, motivating type guy. It's not one of Coach Riley loved him, Coach Smith, but they were a little more relaxed, little kind of low key. Shepard is not low key at all. So I think that bodes in their favor. I also worry though the psyche of a team, how they do if they come out and lose 2 in a row, what that does to the psyche of the team. So Shepard does have his work cut out for him to keep these guys, focused and, bought into the goal at hand. But I think it just helps you get off, makes fall camp a whole lot more interesting when you are out of the gate against 2 top 25 teams.
24/7 Sports at Beavers Blitz on the socials since 2002. Nobody's done it better. It's Angie Machado. Follow her at Angie Machado 1 on the socials as well. We call her Ace here as we cover Oregon State with her, a weekly visit with Angie throughout the football season as we break down Oregon State. So we've discussed a lot about on the offensive side. Can we move it to special teams for a second? Because that was a really, really tough point to talk about last year with everything else that was falling apart with Oregon State's program. So what is the juice now on special teams? I mean, do you feel like there is a massive improvement on that side of football and what the emphasis is from Jamarcus Shepard on that side?
Well, Coach Shepard just demands perfection in everything, even the little things. I mean, we haven't seen a ton of practice, but when we do, he'll blow the whistle in the middle of a play if it's not exactly like to the point of a wide receiver lining up with a left foot forward when he wanted the right foot forward. So that's the kind of detail we're talking about with Coach Shepard. Everything I've heard from people close to the program is this special teams is much improved. Tug Sanford came in as a long snapper. Still have Caleb Ojeda and AJ Windsor, kicker and punter. But I heard that at the scrimmage, both Jaden O, who was a transfer kicker, both he and Ojeda made their kicks, their field goals. So fingers crossed, because honestly, what happened last year with special teams, I don't even think that you could. It was
bad
comedy of errors, to be honest. So I don't think it can get much worse. But I do have faith that Coach Shepard is going to be looking for more detail, and the devil's in the details, and they have to get it right.
Yeah, and I think in a lot of ways we can just reset. I know it was so bad last year, but it's not the same team. It's a new leader of the program, all that stuff. With respect to Danny, I do want to go back to the offense for a second, just because I want to ask about these receivers. You said you like the receivers, and not that I don't like the receivers, but I do have a kind of a question about them, not in terms of questioning them, but in terms of their roles. And I'm just curious, are there any of these guys that you could see possibly emerge as that wide receiver one? Always like to have a guy that you can go to. It seems like right now there's a lot of different guys, but not a lot of returning production guys you can sit there and go, oh, yeah, that guy's going to be our number one.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of growth over the past 3 weeks, to be honest. Everything I keep hearing is, Aaron Hampton, he was the transfer in from Texas. I've heard he has grown a ton over this fall camp. He was a former high 4-star rated recruit out of Calabasas. And then the other one I'm really keeping an eye on is Bubba Hampton. Came in with Coach Shepard from Bama. And what I like about him is I keep hearing about how tough he is, how he is not afraid to block. He's not afraid to go, into traffic and come down, make a big play. So those two guys, I think, give you kind of more of a concrete, they were both very highly rated out of high school, polish. But then you have some of these smaller guys, Jesse Legree is a true freshman out of Maryland he's going to be that smaller, speedier, slot kind of guy that's going to, fast. And then another guy that's kind of emerged here just recently over the last, week or two is Xavier Noland, a transfer out of University of Texas, Rio Grande. So he is one to definitely watch. Another small speedster. I mean, I say small, I'm saying like 5'6", 5'7", but fast as lightning. So those guys, I look for Bubba Hampton and Aaron Butler to, be two of the starters. And then from there, Sinai Thomas. Yeah, I would have said Eddie Frioff. He is kind of the big-bodied guy that you want to see. I think he's a little dinged up right now, so I don't know if he'll be ready for week 1. But Sinai Thomas, a true freshman, will be kind of that. I think that number 2. This is my projected depth chart. It's kind of the bigger-bodied guy. So, and then like I mentioned before, with the tight ends, you have an Eric Olson or a DeCorian Temple. Those guys can also, come down with the ball, and you're looking at a 235 to 260 pound tight end. Those guys are really tough to bring down.
Angie, with Jamarcus being experienced on the offensive side of the ball, and obviously this is Mitch's first full-time coaching job, and it happens to be a coordinator. Have you gotten an idea from them? Is this Mitch is calling the plays? Is this Jamarcus is calling the plays? Is this they work in tandem? Do we know kind of how that's going to work?
I believe Mitch is calling the plays. This is Mitch's offense, and I think for Beaver fans, if you're a little nervous about that, Mitch was one of the guys up in the booth at Bama and at Washington, helping call the plays for Kalen DeBoer. So he knows what he's doing and has a lot of experience with that. So this is his offense, and I believe I'm sure Shepard will be in the ear. He'll be on the mic, but this is Mitch Dolan's offense.
Well, is there optimism still? I mean, obviously, there's no games have been played yet, but I mean, there's still trepidation, but there's optimism, right?
Oh, I think you look at the whole athletic department. There's a lot of hope and a lot of optimism. I think from Beaver standpoint, you look at the past 2 years, and what has gone on with the department, with leadership, and you look now at a brand new AD with Kevin Griffin coming in from Ohio State. So much optimism around him. And I know that the rest of the coaching staff is super excited about what he's going to be doing and his plans. Not a lot to report right now because he's really just getting his feet wet. But, then 2 new main sports coaches with Jamarcus Shepard and Justin Joyner in men's basketball. And those 2 have just been a real breath of fresh air and just bringing so much, teaching, excitement. Beaver fans, I think, are a little standoffish. Last year was horrible, and but the thing we keep hearing from Shepard is they need the fans at Reser Stadium. So hopefully they'll give. I think they're going to be. I think I saw somewhere 20-point underdogs right now with Houston. I don't know if that's like for real or if that was just somebody's guesstimate. I just saw that somewhere. They're going to be double-digit dogs. Keep it close, keep it competitive. I think. The biggest thing is you got to see fight, and that's what we didn't see last year from this football team is fight and competitiveness. So seeing that will be a big step forward for Beaver Nation. But lots of hope, I think, across the board.
You can read Angie and Davis Stone on Beavers Blitz 24/7 Sports since 2002. They've done it better than others. And one last question for you, Angie, before we let you go. The kids that are kind of left in this no man's land, I'm thinking about Wells and Patterson right now. What do you hear about them with, the legal tangles that still keep them in limbo? Are they still practicing with the team?
I know at the scrimmage on Saturday, after that initial ruling came down, they did participate in a limited role. Obviously, you can't have them taking all the reps. They did participate, and they are working. Last I heard, they're working on getting an injunction with some other athletes that were affected by that ruling. Was it Friday? So I have not got an update on that yet, but they're trying. Yeah, they're a different. They're a different case than some of these guys that signed with NFL teams. I mean, these guys never signed with an NFL team. Totally different scenario than some of these other guys.
And so maybe they'd have a legal avenue, just find a friendly judge. But that's a whole other kettle of fish that we can talk about possibly next week, right?
That's a whole craziness, right?
Yeah, it is. So is that kid settling in Tucson?
He is. I haven't heard a whole lot from him. I know he's having fun. I know he's having a lot of fun.
No surprise.
And he tells me it's hot, but he is having fun, and he does tell me he's going to class. So first weekend he's going to class and having fun. That's all we can ask for.
See, I was setting this up. Could you share something with Goose here?
Same here, Ange. My son has just finished his first week at Drake out in Iowa, and same thing.
Okay.
I get a lot of good, and it's fun type things. I'm not getting a whole lot of details, but at this point, he seems to be having fun. So I'm with you in spirit. We parents of kids who have gone far away need to bond together.
It is so hard, and my older son had come down to Grand Canyon, and he kind of kept me updated a little more. This one, I get a lot of, it's chill, brah.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
Yep.
Chill. Dorm parties, I guess, are a thing. He's been hitting up some, quote, dorm parties.
Okay.
I might
had
have to
a,
ask
quote,
about
late
that.
night the other day, but, he knows where the rec center is, too, so he is working out. So
It's a beautiful rec center there.
Yeah,
I've gotten to go.
I've been there as well.
It's
Yeah,
good.
as well.
Yeah.
Angie, we really appreciate your efforts and your contributions to our program. We look forward to talking to you throughout the entire football season. Stay well.
can't wait. Next week we'll be talking before I get on a plane to Houston, so it'll be fun.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Thanks, Angie.
Thanks, guys.
Here she goes. Ace, Angie Machado. Follow her. Angie Machado 1 on the socials. Oregon State soccer tonight. The Civil War renews on the pitch at Pape Field, 6 p.m. We'll talk about it next. Justin, you and I can talk about it. Goose will sit here and sip his tea. Maybe he'll chime in once in a while.
The Drake football game on here in the next.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to find it for you. It's on ESPN Plus, buddy.
Are they playing today?
Yes, they're
Excellent.
playing.
Colorado School of Mines.
Right.
I think
We
it's
talked about
4:30 kick. Yeah, here we go. When we come back on The Drive, Sports Animal Audio Network.
Danny, Steve, and Justin are back.
Yeah, and we always go to breaks exactly at the second you put on. We never run wrong or anything.
Exactly.
The Sports Animal Audio Network is on the air.
None of us ever go over because we just love that.
This is The Drive.
The plans you have for your property need the right equipment. Kubota has reliable tractors, utility vehicles, and mowers to help you make the most of your land, along with strong dealer support. Stop by today to explore our lineup. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% financing or save up to $3,500, plus a first-year K-maintenance service on us. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Mid-Valley Tractor in Eugene. 40 years, family owned. Find them at midvalleytractor.com.
At Sun Automotive, we are changing the image of the automotive industry. Our country depends upon cars and trucks, and our automotive technicians are the essential workers that keep families safe and businesses moving. At Sun Automotive, being an automotive technician isn't a plan B. It's a future and an important career that challenges you to grow and gives you the satisfaction of keeping people safe and on the road. For the best service under the sun, come to Sun Automotive.
Summer, the sun, the sand. How could things be any better? Actually, you know what sounds kind of good? Chicken bones. Yeah, that would make things better. All you could eat wings for $27.95 and dollar beers from Cold Fire Cold Store. That would really make things better. Ooh, and the sauces. The sauces are to die for. In fact, now I'm kind of hungry. Oh, man. Now I need to go to Chicken Bones.
Make no bones about it. Chicken Bones has the best wings in Lane County. All you can eat wings, great sauces, and awesome burgers. Open daily at 11 a.m. on Pioneer Parkway in the Safeway Center. Check us out on Facebook or call 541-726-0111. That's 541-726-0111. Chicken Bones, chicken with an attitude.
I've seen it, I've covered it. I'm Alex Rogers, your local farmer's agent in West Eugene. When you need auto, home, life, or business insurance, Farmers can help you protect everything you've worked so hard to achieve. I really enjoy what I do, and I can help you understand all your coverage options. When I'm your farmer's agent, you're not stuck at the mercy of some computer. I'm your advocate when you need help. Visit my office today at 1154 Garfield Street here in Eugene, or give me a call at 541-284-2804.
Millions of Americans are glued to their TV weekly, watching a sport they love. Come and relive your childhood at A&J Sports Cards. They have a wide variety of sports cards and memorabilia, Eugene's home for collecting is A&J Sports Cards. Whether you're looking for the stars from the past or the present, you'll find them at A&J Sports Cards. They're here to meet your hobby needs. That's A&J Sports Cards, 1478 West 6th Avenue, 541-343-5561.
Wildfire season is coming. Are you ready? All it takes is one small ember to level a home. Reduce any fire hazards around your home and property to prevent an escaped fire from spreading out of control and to protect your home from an oncoming wildfire. It's called Defensible Space, and it works. Go to keeporegongreen.org to learn more.
Our version of the Knucklehead Society have a place to talk sports and life with you. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios, you're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Our dear friend, the Godfather, Matt Dompe from the Eugene Emeralds, former voice of the Emeralds and now the GM. He's the guy sitting in the big chair. He's going to join us in studio here on the Sports Animal Audio Network, and you're locked into The Drive. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Doc. There's Baby J and Goose, who's having a sip of his sweetened tea.
Yeah, straight out of the Havel fridge, what it sounds like.
Yeah, and straight from Nebraska, apparently. Well, they didn't get it from Nebraska, but it was Nebraskans who bought it when they were here. So there you go. We share. Oregon State soccer tonight, kids. Oregon's 3-0-1 record, the best since 2016. That team also went 3-0-1 through their first 4 games. Dating back to last season, the Ducks have won 4. They're 4-0-1. And really, so we had Tracy Joyner on the program yesterday. If you missed it, we had a packed show yesterday with Goose not here. We had to. We had
That's
to
one of the
pack it
guests,
all
Goose.
in. Yeah. So if you missed it, go back to the podcast, Sports Animal EUG on all the socials, Sports Animal EUG. Live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. The Oregon Man Clinic's hotline open for you at 541-844-3484 locally. Toll free 877-844-3484. So Oregon went 1-0-1 on their Bay Area trip. This is the first time that Oregon State have met up since 2023. It's been 6 years since they've met on the pitch in women's soccer. And it's 6 p.m. tonight at Pape Field. So I guess the bigger question for me is, we could talk about, and we're not going to get into the minutia of the matchups and stuff, but it's kind of cool. And we touched on this a little bit yesterday, Baby J, but I would love to hear Goose's opinion on this. I think it's cool. We'd love to see it traditionally in the football rivalry, but it's never going to be the same because it's not going to be Thanksgiving weekend for Oregon State. But it's great that the schools that are the closest geographically and competitively can still find a way in all the other sports to be able to match up against each other, being out of conference now.
Yeah, and they should. I mean, like we've talked about, football should be its own thing. I mean, I understand that football's gone their way, but I mean, if you're Oregon and Oregon State, I mean, why would you be flying down to New Mexico or going down to Arizona or something? Play this. Same thing with basketball. I think basketball should probably do a home and home. Again,
I'd love
that. Some of it changes.
They pretty much have, though, haven't they?
No,
it's just been one or the other.
One or the other, and that's fine. And again, some of that, Oregon State's in a position now where they're not going to be. They're at a bit of a disadvantage. They're not. It's not going to be like the old days where it was a little more competitive. So I understand I know Scott Ruick was one who said, I don't really feel the need to go play a Big Ten team right now. They jumped away, and we'll go play something else. But I don't know. He's going to want to play top teams. I don't know why you wouldn't, but it feels to me like every sport other than football, these two should absolutely face off because you got tons of non-league games. You're just trying to fill your schedule, and if you can save a little bit on travel these days, go for it.
Break already?
Yeah.
All right. Matt Dompe is going to be here next. Who's the villain of college football?
This is a good topic.
Yeah. I'm going to get a team or a person? Team. All right. We'll talk about that next hour as well here on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Live on stations throughout Oregon. We're sorry, we couldn't stop them.
This isn't a negotiation.
Broadcasting from the Emerald City, Eugene. This is The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Beaver Nation. At Mercedes-Benz of Eugene, we do things a little bit differently. We're one of the last independently owned automotive dealerships with a young and energetic sales staff, no pressure sales tactics, and you don't have to travel outside of Lane County to get the best deal possible. We have more than 200 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock now, and we invite you to come see for yourself at Mercedes-Benz of Eugene.
From Dalton Carpet on West 11th in Eugene. Dalton Carpet is family owned and operated and proud to serve you for 30 years. Now more than ever, someone you know is walking on a Dalton floor. Do you have a flooring project? Get your summer off to a new start. Lane County's best selection with hundreds of rolls of carpet and thousands of feet of click-together flooring on display and in stock right now at unbeatable prices. Come see us today at Dalton Carpet, right here on West 11th in Eugene.
Your best coverage of the Oregon Ducks is this fall right here on the Sports Animal Audio Network. 3.5 hours before every Oregon football game, we will be live with interviews, a breakdown of the game, coverage of all the games in the Big Ten, Pac-12, and Top 25, along with ways for you, the fans, to join in. If you're in Eugene for the game, we'll be live from the Mercedes-Benz USA Eugene lot on MLK Boulevard. Stop by for some treats, games, and the best coverage of the Ducks by anyone. The Unauthorized Tailgate Show. We might not have the official stamp, but we wipe out the competition on our coverage. This fall, each week, the Unauthorized Oregon Tailgate Show, presented by Mercedes-Benz USA of Eugene, our friends at Coquel Casino and Resort, Tracktown Pizza, Mid-Valley Tractor, and the Back Nine.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew. So here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
KORE Springfield, Eugene, 1050 AM. Translated on 275CX 1029 FM. This is the Sports Animal Eugene.
Hour number 2 of the drive for a Thursday. It's weekend eve here in the Valley and throughout the state of Oregon, and you're tuned in to the best 3 hours of your day. I certainly hope it is.
It's
in
the
Roseburg.
best 3 hours of ours.
It is. Roseburg, Newport, Medford, Klamath Falls, and in Eugene, and adding on a brand new affiliate beginning next week. We'll reveal all. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow's program will reveal. So, and Goose, Baby J, Doc, Goose, you're gone for part of the show tomorrow again.
I'll be here for the first half. I've been invited to play in a event, in a couples event out at Shadow Hills tomorrow night.
It's, I did you realize that we were working with a celebrity?
I did not.
Justin,
My
I
former
didn't
boss
realize.
invited me, and I'm appreciative of it. And
Good for you.
It's a luau.
It's a luau.
It's
So
a
this.
luau.
So what?
It's
So
like-
what do you got to wear, like a hula skirt when you're playing
I
golf,
think-
or what?
No. I just
Grass
I'll
skirt?
wear
You're gonna do a
lei.
lucky
I'll wear a
lucky
lei,
and
but that's
mookie
as far as I'm
mookie and
going.
what?
I'm not messing with my game. Isn't going to be hampered by a weird outfit. I might throw a lei on my bag, but I'm not even wearing anything over my neck or something. I'm not going to cost my team some great shots that I'll give them.
Did you guys see this report that just came flashing across the wire about Shaden Sharp?
Is there a new one?
Yeah,
That they say that they're going to reevaluate him in 6 months.
I did see that.
Yeah.
So this is obviously a little bit worse than what probably was originally
described.
March at best, and I mean, that's
why would you even throw them out there then?
Yeah, that's just a lost year.
Yeah. So tough news for the Blazers. Shaden Sharp. They say reevaluate in 6 months. When you start hearing those kind of phrases,
yeah.
Yeah, he's coming in. He's sitting down. He's pulling the chair back. He'll put the headphones on, and then he'll lean into that microphone. And there he is, friends, in living color on YouTube, on Twitter and Twitch. If you're watching there, it is our friend, the Godfather, Matt Dompe, his own walk-up music on the drive. Welcome, friend. How are you?
We're doing good.
Yeah. Slide in. You've had a busy day.
It's been a long day, yeah.
All right. But things are pretty good. Half game up on Vancouver, still in the second half. Over 70 wins overall in the season. First half championship for the Emeralds. They know they're going to be playing in the Northwest League Championship at PK Park. So can you take us through? You've got a little bit left in the season now. The team is still on the road taking on Everett, and then they come back home. And then there is a championship series that has to be accounted for and organized. So take us behind the scenes a bit on what that looks like for you and your organization, because you're in. Nope, you don't know who your opponent is yet.
Yeah, it's looking pretty likely that it's going to be Vancouver. They've got a 3-game lead to be the second place team in the second half, and they have the tiebreaker over Everett. So essentially, they have a 4-game lead with 10 to play. So we're moving forward like it's going to be an international battle against the Vancouver Canadians, who were just here last week.
Getting your visas ready?
Not personally, but yeah, they didn't
You're
get
not gonna
theirs in
go?
order.
Not gonna go?
Well, we got to be getting ready for the games here. So that the nice thing is knowing 3 months ago when we clinched the second half, 2.5 months ago, whenever it was, that all right, we're in. We're gonna have some of these extra games. That's the nice part. The tough part, unlike last year where we hosted games 1 and 2, you're playing on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Trying to explain to fans that the game 3 on September 11th is the only guaranteed one, but we could have one on Saturday and we could have one for all the marbles on Sunday. It's a little bit more cumbersome to try to sell picnics and suites and get groups out and the fans will get excited the week of when they find out that the game's going on, but it's just tough to kind of get that message out there when you're not sure when the games are going to be.
Yeah, no, it's and how about for the team? I mean, for those guys, they've known now for 55 games that they're in the playoffs. There's been some roster changes. Obviously, Hayward stays there. What's kind of the mindset you get from the team? Are they kind of fired up for the postseason? Is like we've been waiting for this for 2 months?
Well, I think there's not a ton of those guys left. We were just joking. We were just having a staff meeting going over this next set of games. And we were, kind of talking about, logistics of potentially winning a championship and what that all means and what happens post-game and everything. And we were like, we might be shaking guys' hands saying, congratulations, nice to meet you.
And they've been here
at the same time, yeah.
They've been here 2 weeks.
And maybe only 3 games,
Yeah.
realistically.
Yeah.
That might be their 4th home game.
Yeah.
Caden Kent, Jeff Kent's son, just made his debut yesterday for
That's
the
right.
Emeralds. And so he'll literally, September 11th will be his 4th game at PK Park. And bring home a championship.
That might be one more than Trey Turner played. I think Trey Turner played 3 games at PK
Exactly,
Park. So
yeah.
it shines good for Caden Kent.
Yeah, good fight yesterday as well. And the team's overall still scoring a lot of runs. Any more, you might talk about Kent's debut. Is there any more reinforcements that are expected before the end of the season?
I get these text messages at random and I find out, maybe hours before they're publicly known. But there's not, the weird thing is there's also the team below us in San Jose and Low A is in the playoffs. And the team above us in Double A and Richmond is in the playoffs. So, and actually, it's funny. MLB just sent out a thing the other day about not stacking. There's some new rules that they've implemented about there has to be like certain reasons before you can send somebody down because they're you could send a guy down from Double A under the guise of we want him to get some extra games played, but really you're just trying to stack that roster. So
yeah, that's interesting.
But the Giants, we've talked about this a little bit. They care about winning, right? In terms of the development, because there's 2 different tracks of we just want these guys to go through their motions and whenever they're ready, they're ready. But then I think some other organizations, they actually want their teams to win.
Yeah, no, the Giants definitely want to get rings. And so they're pretty excited. All 3 of those teams, Low A, Double A, and us at High A, all clinched the first half. So they've been, and Sacramento and Triple A was right there. So yeah, they've ascended from being a bottom 5 farm system to a top 5 farm system in most of the rankings. So over the 5 or 6 years that we've been with them, things have changed quite a bit.
You can follow Matt Dompe still on the socials. Are you still on it, Eugene Emeralds? No.
You don't
Okay.
need to follow me there, but
okay. We're
follow
still
the
going
Emeralds. Follow the Emeralds.
Okay, we'll
That's what's
follow
more
the
important.
Emeralds as well. And he joins us here pretty regularly on the drive as we talk Eugene Emeralds baseball as they're winding down the Northwest League season. Is this the toughest as a GM now? And this is your first full year as a GM. And now knowing you're in the postseason, is this the toughest time of the year, though, because of the roster possible upheaval and all of the moving pieces that you've got to have going on, and then trying to make sure, okay, I'm going to have to make travel arrangements. I don't necessarily know that site. And so you've got your staff still on call basically 24/7. Is this the toughest part?
I would say, it is tough with that just unknown. Like the Vancouver GM just texted me yesterday about getting a hotel room. They're going to bring 20 staff members down if they make it. So I need 10 more hotel rooms for that. And it maybe is on Friday. Maybe they leave Saturday. Maybe they leave Sunday. Maybe they're partying Sunday night. You don't know. Anyway, I think, I would still say that getting everything started on opening day
still
always the tough, because especially just the nature of spring training ending, and the guys only show up 2-3 days in advance. So getting like just the headshots and the stuff for the video board and any sort of content with those guys before first pitch of the first game. You got however many new staff members that, you got your whole usher and game day staff that a lot of them, it's going to be their first game. So I think that one's a lot more stressful getting going. At this point, we've literally had, 60 something home games. So like, hopefully in terms of putting on a ball game, we're pretty dialed in. If we're not, then we're definitely not doing our job. The roster kind of takes care of itself for the most part. We're all, basically become fans where we're, oh man, that guy just called up, or that guy got hurt. Like
that's more for Jacob than you, right?
Yeah, I mean that's more. Both Jacobs, Jacob Hayward, the manager, and Jacob Archer, the broadcaster.
Right.
So yeah, I mean the logistics side of things, it's not that bad. Another thing dawned on me today, like no matter what, I need to get a bunch of champagne because whether we win or they win, it's going to be down here in Eugene. It's funny too. A week or two ago, I got this kind of shoddily packaged gift, package in the mail from MLB, and I'm like, what is this? I open it up, and it's the Northwest League trophy and the banner are already here.
Wow.
I was joking with the MLB representative that oversees all the West Coast leagues, and I was like, well, when I got that, I thought we were
we won.
We already won. We got the trophy. It's already in our office. But obviously, the trophy, the winner will be crowned at PK Park that 11th, 12th, or 13th.
That's kind of cool.
So it's cool to just already have it in hand, and hopefully we get to keep it.
And does Vancouver reimburse you for the champagne if they end up winning it?
Absolutely. And in American dollars, thank you very much.
In American dollars. These are the questions we need to know.
Conversion rate.
No, that's definitely part of it. Like, I won't say which team. It was Everett in the first half. They we had to coordinate because we thought for all the world that we were going to clinch up there. Turned out we went into a little skid and ended up they had to pack the champagne down here, and let's just say I had to add to the to the bounty. Well, I got the bill from them, but I needed to add a few more on top to make sure everybody could spray a couple bottles and make a big mess.
I was listening to Danny's little radio station the other day, and another GM in your league mentioned you guys. And then we had a caller, Brad, a regular caller, called in. I don't know what you can say on anything, but Brad was asking, is there any update on your guys' future at this point?
There's potential for an update in the next 4 to 12 weeks. Can I leave it there?
Fine. I'm putting that on my show list for 4 to.
Ask Siri to make a reminder.
We're having Matt back on in 4 to 12 weeks.
We're having back on
hopefully
before that.
in 2 weeks when we're celebrating the championship.
That's true, and maybe we'll be out there. Are we still?
No, we talked about it at lunch today.
Yeah, I want to see if you guys come to the fan appreciation night next Thursday, and we'll figure out the logistics of where you guys will do it. I wanted you guys to do it at the best seats in the house, but then I realized there's internet connection involved. So, and
we might do the show from up there and then somewhere else. But we're gonna definitely participate because we love the organization itself and what you guys bring to the community. And I think the way you've grown this, even under your tenure, Matt, you've taken, and with your staff, taken it to another level of the fan experience. Because, listen, these are guys that are trying to break in, or some other guys that are on their way back down, and that storyline always keeps evolving and changing. And so, sometimes there's a disconnect with the community, but I think you guys have really unlocked how you can connect with the community, and it's a credit on you, and it's a credit on your staff. So we absolutely want to celebrate it.
Well, I appreciate that. And we're already, even as we're closing out 2026, we're already thinking about different nights. So we're like, we can really build on that one for next year and engage this kind of specific part of the community. So we're always thinking about, we got to fill up 66. Not everybody does 66 different theme nights. We try to do a different thing every night. And it gets a little tiresome trying to come up. Well, it's just hard to come up with all these different things that are all going to draw. So some of them end up being duds, but you win some, you lose some. It's baseball. You're going to win a third, you're going to lose a third. And it's what you do in the middle that makes the difference, I guess, even in attendance. So yeah, we're already thinking of different things like, we could have done that one better. We'll work on that one for next year. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, we've been following that great Akron play calling contest from the Akron Zips. Have you been following this at all?
So Akron football put together a contest for season tickets and or suites. If you bought, you got an entry into a raffle, and they would draw a name out to be the offensive coordinator for the first series for the first game that Akron plays.
Maybe you could do like a lineup or something like that. I'm just saying.
This is
there's some
a
potential
real
here. Yes,
game,
and
not
real
even like
game.
a scrimmage.
And they sold out their suites and their season tickets, their highest ticket sales since 2009, since they opened the stadium.
You get to draw the plays, or do you just pick off the sheet?
You get that's a little bit unclear, but
We're
it
not
looks
sure
like you
about
get to get in there and you get to work with the coaching. Joe Moorhead, who used to be here, is the head coach at Akron. They developed this and it blew up. It was fantastic.
That is crazy.
Isn't
I thought
that
you were going
great?
to say Akron Rubber Ducks, the minor league
No,
team
no,
over
no,
there.
the football team.
That is, I did not know about that.
See,
I might have to buy a ticket.
I can already see the wheels
The wheels
turning.
turning.
I'm already
in the
thinking about
Godfather's mind.
Madden 02 and what plays I would dial up from the playlist.
Justin, I think, wants to get his
First
name
base-
drawn to do the
first base-
lineup card for the
First base coach
for
for
the
an
final
inning.
game.
First base coach for an
Exactly.
inning.
That's not a bad idea. I actually
there might
used to do
be
a
some
skit.
liability there.
Well,
Well, takes a line drive screamer.
When I first did,
Jeez, gosh, Goose.
You got to
don't
think
bring
of
up
these
that
things.
stuff. Our insurance company might be listening. But no, when I first started minor league baseball down in the California League in Lake Elsinore, I would do a skit, and actually Alan was kind of the punchline of this whole skit. But I would be the first base coach for the visiting team, and the mascot would keep messing with me, and I keep slapping him in the face and pushing him around. And then Alan would come out at the end, and yada yada yada. It would end up with a bucket of water being put on Alan, and I'd get thrown out of the game. But that was a fun. I got to do, I think, every single California League team. I got to wear their uniform except for the San Jose Giants as a San Jose native. Like that always kind of irked me.
Hey, if we come out there next Thursday, how do we win the car for $1?
You got to enter to win.
How's that work?
Actually, so legally we have to sell the car to you for $1, us and Kiefer.
Okay.
But it's not $1 to enter. It's free to enter. Once you get to the ballpark, there'll be QR codes. You enter online, you just fill out a couple of quick things. And then basically in the 7th, 8th inning, they'll do a drawing. They kind of do it where it's like, if you're in section, if you're in an odd section, sit down, you're not the winner, and eliminate everybody until one person wins the car. And then I think most of the time I've just literally taken the $1 out of my pocket and, but the $1 is kind of just a legal type thing. It's not $1 to enter. It's free to enter. We're doing a bunch of other kind of fan appreciation stuff that night. And it's the last Thirsty Thursday of the night with $5 Coors Lights and $5 tickets. So
is the car some jalopy that I'm going to need to spend like $500 just to get the engine working, or is it?
I mean,
look at you. Gosh, he's spiced it
today.
today.
It is a used car. It's not going to be. It's not going to be a Ferrari. I mean, we're a minor league ball club here.
That's all right. Matt Dompe joining us, the Godfather, Eugene Emerald's GM, as they wind the season down. And they've still got a lot of baseball to play and Northwest League Championship to try and grab. And you can watch it at PK Park Fan Appreciation Night next Thursday night, right? Coming up, not tonight, but next Thursday night. We're gonna be out there. I'm making the call right now. I'll make sure it's arranged. We'll work out the logistics. So, what have you learned this year over last year, and how the fan experience has been? And the things that you just talked about, some are great, some are duds and such. You introduced the log this year, which I thought was awesome. So what did you learn over this past season that, hey, we need to kind of try and replicate that for this next year for the fans?
That's a good question. I mean, I think, to be honest, I think that as a general manager, my first year going through the full off season as general manager, there are certain promos that in my heart of hearts, in my gut of guts, that when we put those on the board, I'm like, no, that's not going to work. But at a certain point, you run out of, you got to pick your battles. And, if somebody's passionate about a certain promo in the front office, like, all right, we'll let you run with that one. But I think, there are some that, and then there are some that I didn't think were going to be that good, and we sold out. What's it called? K-pop Demon Hunters Night was a sellout on a Saturday in April.
And that surprised you.
Yeah. I mean, even though even with two little girls, I have a 6-year-old, 8-year-old girls that loved it last year. Yeah. I didn't know it had the staying power to go all the way through. Like, actually, one of the reasons we did that one was we specifically last Halloween, when we go to these events, we would kind of pay attention to like what the most popular ones were for what they were wearing, and that was one of the top ones. But for it to still kind of maintain that off of one movie from the summer previous on Netflix to still be going the next April, I was like, okay, that one might have some legs. The Giants just did a K-pop Demon Hunters drone show, so it's still moving along here this summer, a year later. So yeah, I mean, I think it's just kind of picking and choosing where to use the general manager veto power, and kind of, but realistically also seeing like which ones have direct groups and types of people that we can reach out to specifically that'll get excited about whatever that promo is and bring them out and kind of that's really the core of what a sales team does in a minor league front office is get those groups, those corporate groups or little league, or we made some great inroads with some of the local recreation leagues, whether it's baseball or all the different sports, so that we haven't had in the 15-16 years. And some part of me is like, what were we doing? But we're looking to build on those over the next couple of years and into the future.
So the things that you did well, you can identify those pretty easily. And you also learned when to do a drone show and when to not do a drone show.
Don't do it on the summer solstice when it's the longest day of the year. Yeah. And another thing I learned is, and we have this corrected for next year. This year we didn't have Father's Day or July 3rd or July 4th. Next year we get all three of those.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
We've already had a 7-8% attendance bump this year anyway, and that was without having the July 3rd or 4th fireworks show and without having Father's Day, which is always usually a really big crowd. So I'm looking forward to, building some of these promos we had this year, adding some of those kind of like no-brainer, family nights out and keeping it rolling and bumping up attendance next year too.
All right. So the guys are back next week.
Mm-hmm.
They're still on the road up in Everett until I believe through Sunday, right?
Yeah. They'll drive back Sunday night.
And then the last big homestand before the playoffs.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, kind of a weird truncated little split homestand with Hillsborough, which is actually MLB hooked us up with that because that gets us out of town for that football game that Saturday.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's pretty good. All right, Matt, we love having you here, and we look forward to being out there next week, showing our love for the fans, and we'll figure out something fun to do as well with you. Okay,
absolutely, sounds good to me.
All right,
good. I guess I'll see you next Thursday. The boss is getting us out of the office.
That's right. We'll have new blood in the studio. Kyle's gonna have to sit there, and we're gonna be out having some fun. How about that? Right? I've already called that. Matt Dompe, the Godfather from the Eugene Emeralds. When we come back, who is the villain? Who's the team that's the villain of college football when we return here on The Drive?
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really, but you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Send off summer with fantastic lease offers and big savings at Kendall Toyota of Eugene. Lease a new 2026 Toyota Tacoma SR5 double cab rear-wheel drive at just $280 per month for 36 months with $3,999 cash or trade equity due at signing. Get in on 0% APR on a new all-wheel drive 2026 Toyota BZ XLE. Plus, get $500 TFS subvention cash or lease it at just $385 per month for 36 months with $3,999 cash or trade equity due at signing. Get in on the end of summer savings and stop by Kendall Toyota of Eugene today. Kendall, let's start something great.
VIN number TM074169 and TA013908. TSRP of $42,002 and $41,970. $0 security deposit. See lease posting at Kendall Toyota of Eugene or call 541-225-5420 for complete lease details. All financing out of credit and all customers will qualify. Price does not include title registration or tax. Price includes $250 dealership admin fee. Subject to car sales. See dealer for details. Offer expires 8/31/26.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know. Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Jansen Beach, Clackamas, Beaverton, Salem, and Eugene. Video Only.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinics step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
Almost every car made over the last 10 years has a camera. Did you know that when you replace a windshield, the camera needs recalibrated? If your glass provider doesn't fix the camera, you could have issues with safety features like forward collision alert, adaptive cruise control, or emergency braking. Don't trust some guy in a truck to fix or replace your windshield and then have to make a second appointment to calibrate your camera. You need Olson's Auto Glass, 2041 West 7th Avenue in Eugene. Olson's Auto Glass, repairing windshields since 1938.
Sometimes they're right.
I rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Well, that was pretty quick. Drake Baldwin just went yard. As Atlanta's up on the Dodgers, bottom of the first, 1-0. Back in studio, the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. On The Drive, Sports Animal Audio Network, you just heard from Matt Dompe, and Matt Dompe gave us some tickets. It's actually, they're not tickets, they're vouchers. So the Northwest League playoff series is coming up. The championships are coming up in a couple of weeks. And games 3, and then, if necessary, 4 and 5 are going to be at PK Park. So games 1 and 2, he said Vancouver, he thinks, right, guys?
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Basically 4 up with the tiebreaker with 10 to go.
That seems pretty good odds.
And Eugene, though, can have a factor in this because they're playing Everett. And Everett is the one that's chasing Vancouver right now.
So you get the mind games of, do we want to put this opponent in? I don't think they care.
I don't know about that. I don't think about that. So we've got some vouchers. We'll give away playoff vouchers starting tomorrow. So it's to any of the Northwest League championship games. So I'll want to stress this, and we'll do it when we give them away, is these are just vouchers. So you'll have to go to the Emeralds box office. So you can go online or such. I believe that's the way you can do it, and get your seats. They're just a voucher. So it's not like an actual seat that allows you to get a ticket. So that's cool.
And there's only one guaranteed, so you might want to, although he said the 11th is selling out pretty quick because that's the only guaranteed one. But you know the way things go. You always split on the road to start, so they'll probably get at least 2 at home, I would guess.
Yeah. So we'll start giving some of these away. So who's the villain in college football? Goose?
I mean, everybody's going to take Lane Kiffin, but, I have a hard time calling the victim because I think he likes to play that role. I'd rather have the victim be
Did you hear George? You didn't hear George. You heard George Reister yesterday. Did you hear him talking about Lane Kiffin?
Yeah.
Whew. The minister did not hold back about Lane Kiffin. It's all about Lane Kiffin. He doesn't care about anybody else.
And it is.
And he doesn't care.
But that's worked for him. That's how he's risen to the top by, and some of it's an act too. I mean, right. He probably knew, hey, we don't, if anybody's going to be like, whereas a lot of coaches are like, hey, I'm not going to get one of these, pros because it's going to be a bad look. He's the type that's like, I'm going to get one because it's going to be a bad look. And there are going to be more people talking about me and more eyes on our program. And that's kind of what he wants.
Yeah. Negative attention, still attention.
Yeah,
it's true. It's true. And he definitely likes that attention. But I would argue right now, we don't have maybe LSU is the closest, and that is a team that actually I didn't think about them immediately. There was another team I'm going to bring up in a second, but I don't think we have an Alabama that we had for years and years, where it was like, okay, like they're the team that they're every year they're going to be in the the championship, and they're the team that everybody looks at. Maybe Georgia for a couple seasons, I think maybe had that mantle. I think the other team that we got to think about right now is probably Texas Tech. And they were in the whole Brendan Sorsby thing. And I think that the whole, everybody was, not wanting to play them if they were going to play him. And obviously they have a lot of money. So I think Texas Tech is maybe the other team I would look at. The thing about Texas Tech, what I would argue against, is that I don't know if they're good enough to be the villain of college football. Like, I don't think we're expecting Texas Tech to win the championship, although they did get Thomas Castellanos as the replacement for Brendan Sorsby finally. Was that yesterday? I think it was.
Yeah.
So Texas Tech, I think, is a good answer, but not necessarily a perfect answer.
And I don't know if we really have a
villain.
That's where I was going to go.
I think that's where I'm at as well.
I don't know if there's such a visceral hate against a team. Like, I agree, when Nick Saban was racking up championships and the way he was dealing in his way with the rest of the media and public and such, it was like they were the Death Star. They were, the evil empire, because they were just so good and stayed up there.
You knew they'd be there every single year.
And so it was like, they are not what's good about college football, though they set the bar so high in excellence that they deserved what they were getting. Not in terms of the public personification that they were. So, I mean, do you agree with that, Mims, in terms of, I don't know if there's really a villain?
I agree.
I think there's a person that could be a villain, but not a program.
Yeah, I don't think there is. And the hard part for Texas Tech to me is I think Joey McGuire is really likable as a coach. He seems like a really likable dude.
I agree with that.
And I'm a big fan of Cody Campbell. I mean, to me, Cody Campbell's come in and said, hey, these are the rules of college football. So I could just throw all my money at it and we can buy players. It's legal now. I'm fine with that. I'm totally, every time he does interviews,
losing me a little bit.
Listen to him on an interview, man. He's like, hey, we're just doing whatever is allowed, and he's a former player who's putting into it. So I find him really likable, and that's why I don't have an issue with Texas Tech. I see where people in the outside world are like, oh my God, suddenly never was is becoming something just by throwing money at it. Well, welcome to college football. That's how some of these other teams got good. They threw money at it for a long time. By the way, I hate to tell you, Oregon fans, Oregon's throwing money at this thing too. So if you don't like Cody Campbell, Oregon's been doing the same thing. So why people are upset at Cody Campbell? Because you're not supposed to be that good, and now you just made them good.
He's just a younger Phil Knight.
Absolutely. And I love, every time I see Cody Campbell interviewed, I'm like, I like that dude. He's like, I just think that he's like, hey, we're just gonna do what the rules allow, and he's got enough money to swing it around, and that's what he's doing with it.
Well, I'll just say he backed off pretty fast. I mean, again, like I said, kind of like a Josh Pastner thing when he talked about the UNLV. You could buy our basketball program. Why buy an NBA team? You can buy UNLV basketball. This whole Brendan Sorsby thing, Cody Campbell dug his heels in real fast, and then he backtracked massively when it came to when he knew the tide was turning against Texas Tech, both in the courts and in public opinion. Because go back and look at the comments, Goose. I challenge you on that, because he was like, nope. And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we need to go away with this, and we need to go a different direction. Am I wrong? Because I thought that's the perception I got from it.
I would agree. I don't know if they handled it the best.
No, not everybody. It was just him. It was the entire administration.
No, I agree. I would agree.
Clown show.
I've got another team that I know that Goose isn't necessarily agree with this. I don't think they're the villain right now, but I think by the end of the season or maybe next season, they could be. I think it's Indiana. I think Indiana's the nice story right now that everybody likes. And just wait, if they win, if they keep winning and they win the championship again this year, every single person is going to start rooting against Indiana. We've seen this.
Why? Because of Curt Cignetti, and
yes,
because
absolutely.
He's gruff.
He is a definite. You like him or you hate him type of guy. They're just an amazing program right now. All they're doing is winning.
The
and
Bill Belichick
people
of college
will start
football.
to get tired of it. I'm not saying we're there yet. I think we're a year away from it. But if they continue to do what they've been doing, I can guarantee you people will start to hate Indiana.
If people hate them because they're good, that's on you. That's a you problem.
I'm
Same
not saying
thing with the Tech.
personally.
That's what I'm saying. That's the Texas Tech. Oh my gosh, these guys were supposed to be not very good, and now they're good because they're throwing all this money at it, and that makes me mad. Sorry, that's what Oregon did 25 years ago and came in as well. I love Cignetti. If you don't like Cignetti and you're like, and they're the villain because they're too, suddenly Indiana football is too good and now they're the villain. Sorry, you haven't been following the sport long enough for folks who are going to say that.
All right, Boomer's chiming in on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch.
Boomer Marshall from South Bedford?
No, not the other Boomer. Our Boomer.
Our Boomer, okay.
Blaine Liberator. Maybe not villains of the college football, but for me, as an Oregon fan, Mario Cristobal in Miami.
We've had this discussion. Right. Boomer is so far.
Boomer, would you let me finish?
Boomer,
What do you
I don't even know you anymore.
Ryan Day in Ohio State, the villains.
I think Ohio
Cristobal
State's
for
got
obvious.
some,
I just don't like Ryan Day. Just my opinion.
Which is a fine opinion. I don't know.
That's fine, but I'm not going to go back to my Mario Cristobal and Willie Taggart both improved the program and then left, and they set up Dan Lanning to have success. Again, if you can't see that, then come on the show, Boomer. Give us a call.
Yeah.
We'll go head to head on this thing, buddy.
Let's do it.
The Oregon Man Clinics hotline open for you. This is a great discussion. 541-844-34.
Discuss which 5A basketball coaches I like the least.
Okay, can I get the phone number out so people know what it is? 541-844-3484. Toll free. 877-844-3484. Live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. This is The Drive. It's Danny, Justin, and Steve, and you, and throughout the state, Klamath Falls, Roseburg, Newport, and Medford. And our friends at Meltdown Candleworks are offering the highest quality, handcrafted, eco-conscious products available. Meltdown Candleworks, your home for officially licensed Oregon Ducks candles, and a proud supporter of Willamette High School athletics. Visit them at meltdowncandleworks.com. All right, boys, coming up.
Can we do a sponsorship thing first?
Sure, absolutely.
Meltdown Candleworks. Can we have, like, every Friday, the meltdown of the week? We pick the team that melted down the most.
There we
like
go.
every Monday, the college.
Or maybe we do it on Mondays. The Monday meltdown.
The Monday meltdown.
The Monday meltdown. I'm writing this down right now.
And
The
now
Monday
this is for all
meltdown.
this is for all you Mario haters. But if Mario has one of those where he hands off and fumbles when he wasn't supposed to, that's the meltdown of the week. We
All
could
right,
have
you got to give me a fist
we could
bump
have the
on that
Monday
one.
meltdown of the week.
All right,
and,
we're going to have the Monday meltdown.
Candleworks.
It's done. We've got a new segment on
These are how the best things are born.
Okay, so here's the thing, though, BJ. Now you've got more work to do
I
because
know.
now
That's
we
all
got to
right.
have some audio to put in the Monday meltdown. People screaming, yelling. You know, we can theater of the mind.
There's got to be a meme out there somewhere with somebody going, "What a meltdown!" I guarantee you, there's something online with that.
All right, when we come back, should other major sports leagues follow suit? The NFL canceled the Pro Bowl. In terms of like having an event, they're just going to like give them a certificate of participation. Should other major league sports cancel their all-star games? I definitely have thoughts on this when we return here on The Drive.
Danny, Steve, and Justin are back.
Yeah, and we always go to breaks exactly at the second you put on. We never run long or anything.
Exactly.
The Sports Animal Audio Network is on the air.
None of us ever go over because we just love that.
This is The Drive.
Yeah.
At Mercedes-Benz of Eugene, we do things a little bit differently. We're one of the last independently owned automotive dealerships with a young and energetic sales staff, no pressure sales tactics, and you don't have to travel outside of Linn County to get the best deal possible. We have more than 200 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock now, and we invite you to come see for yourself at Mercedes-Benz of Eugene.
More tired than you should be, a little less focused, a little less motivated. Maybe you've gained a little weight. It's normal. A lot of men experience it, but that doesn't mean you have to live with it. At Hale Men's Clinic, personalized testosterone therapy can help you restore your energy, your clarity, your edge. Real solutions, real results. Hale Men's Clinic. Feel good now. Curious about your levels? Walk into Hale Men's Clinic in Eugene, Bend, or Roseburg for your free testosterone test today. More info at halemensclinic.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity,
meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
Okay, forest animals, kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Our version of the Knucklehead Society have a place to talk sports and life with you. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios, you're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Now, there's an old adage that you never want to see how the sausage is made, but if you listen to that last segment, you just heard the creation of a radio segment.
Hey, I'm just
starting with Goose.
What I can out here.
And then the collaboration continued until now we have a new segment. We'll start it on Monday, the Monday Meltdown. It's awesome. Yeah. Here on The Drive, it's the Sports Animal Audio Network. Doc, there's Baby J and Goose. The Oregon Man Clinics hotline. Wave to the kids. No, don't worry about it, Goose. Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-844-3484. That's in Eugene. Toll free 877-844-3484. Live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. And we are in living color on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Newport, Roseburg, Klamath Falls, Medford, and another market coming on Monday as we keep growing the network. Thanks for tuning in, kids, as we have still plenty of time with you before we depart at 6 p.m. tonight. We're going to talk about the Oregon partnership with DAZN. I think I'm saying that right. DAZN. That's the
If
acronym.
that's not what it is, then we're going to call it that.
That's what we're going to call it from here. That's
We're
what we're
naming
call it here on this program.
That was like
DAZN.
Would
you stop with this? Just
it's like the Monster Energy Big 12. Whatever they want to be called, that's what we're going to call it.
Would you call it DAZN if you just look at it like that, Goose?
They got this thing out there called Google. I'm going to Google it.
All right, tonight at Pape Field, it's going to be Oregon State and women's soccer, 6 p.m.
DAZN, like DAZN.
DAZN. Oh, DAZN.
DAZN.
Like a
so
calzone?
why is it an A?
Right.
I'm not the marketer.
DAZN.
There needs to be something in between the Z and the N.
Duh. So it's why don't you just put a O in there? So that would be even closer. All right, forget it. I give up on some of this stuff. All right, so we'll get to that in the next segment. Quick segment here. Should other major league sports allow themselves to exit their Pro Bowl or All-Star games? So who wants to start? Because, okay, Baby J raises his hand first.
Pick me. Pick him.
All right. Baby J, you may start the conversation.
So I think it's interesting that the Pro Bowl has
can you just do a yes or no?
Do I think that they should? I think that the only one that shouldn't is the MLB All-Star Game. That's my opinion. You'd have to tell me more about hockey, but I think the NBA
I'm going to tell you about hockey.
The NBA one is kind of a joke at this point, and I don't even watch it. It's not fun to watch. They had about one season after Kobe died that they decided they were going to play hard. I don't think there's any way that they can make it at this point. They've tried all the things to make it a competitive game. I'm not sure if they can do it. Baseball, I love. I think that baseball, it still works. The guys, they kind of have to try baseball. The way the sport works, you can't like lob over a 65-mile-per-hour Evis pitch. So I think baseball is good, and I love seeing all those guys together, but I'm good with getting rid of all the other ones.
So what about the home run derby?
I like the home run. I think baseball is good. I think if the home run derby isn't working, I think they should save it. I like it as a concept.
Goose?
I'm with you on the only All-Star game that's worth it is baseball, because, again, you can go out there without having to have plays diagrammed, and they're going to take it serious because nobody wants to strike out or look stupid on there. So I like that. I don't need the home run derby. Get rid of the home run derby. I like the futures game. That's the part of it I like, the prospect one.
Right.
I don't need the home run derby, though. Get rid of that. NBA, get rid of the All-Star game. I would say keep the dunk contest if good players did it, but good players don't do it anymore.
Three-point
So get rid of
contest,
that too. No, just get rid of the whole thing there. Name All-Stars, but I don't need the game either. The Major League one, I'm with you. I do like, but I don't need the All-Star game. And it just won't surprise you, Danny. I know nothing about hockey, so don't even ask me if they should.
So I'm not.
I don't know about
hockey.
I don't know about the MLS All-Star game either, or the WNBA All-Star
so
game.
I'm not into. So literally baseball, yes. I'm on the fence on the home run derby. I'll be honest. There are some years where, like, I didn't like part of that clock rule, or you keep hitting a home run, you keep getting to go.
They need to figure out the
type of
format.
thing.
I'm with you.
That kind of was just like, you know what, just stop it right there. So they were doing a clock before,
But you like
and
the
then they were doing
idea
the
of
number
a
of
home
pitches.
run derby, right?
I do. I like the concept, but I still think they would need to tweak that. And listen, they're trying to fill an entire weekend. That's what they're doing, and again, it's driven by TV. ESPN wants to have another piece of content that they can, have their interviews and filling with sponsors. So I get all that.
I think one thing, just to jump in real quick, the
Yeah.
problem with the home run derby is one of the more exciting home run derbies I can remember was Bobby Abreu when he hit just like a million home runs. I don't even think he won.
See,
the
and here's
tournament.
the thing:
the problem is
I
that
don't
they-
remember that at all, and that's why I can jettison that from my memory.
The guys
Go
get
ahead.
too tired from that, I think.
I honestly do remember. I think I remember watching that. I think I remember watching that one. And you're right. But then it was like this year Jordan Walker won it, and they're like, but now he's not hitting as many home runs. It's
So
like,
that hit
thing's
like
kind of a-
50 something home runs in a single night. Like, it
Listen,
was a lot for him.
we talked about this on the program after the All-Star game and the home run derby before, and it was like there's a track of the guys that hit a lot of home runs in the home run derby coming out of the All-Star break and the home run derby and getting into a slump.
Yeah.
It's like there's definitely an arc there that's been proven scientifically. All right, so the hockey. I like the skills competition. It's kind of cool having guys slapping pucks, trying to break, plates in a goal, and the speed skating aspect of it. I think they could probably trim that down a little bit. The way hockey does theirs is that they have the different divisions. They pick their own all-stars from within their divisions, and then they all play like mini games, like a jamboree. No, but it's fast-paced.
Are
It's
they
a
like
period.
power plays, basically?
What?
Are they like, I know power plays, you have fewer guys on, it's more
No,
exciting.
no,
Is it kind
no.
of like that, or they
No.
play what is it?
It's
how many guys are on the ice?
It's 4 on 4. I think it's 5 on 5.
It's 5
No,
on 5?
Yeah, it's 5 on 5.
I thought it was 5.
Yeah, it's 5 on 5. So
that's not sure that much I know about hockey.
It's the only thing you know about it. But again, there's no there's no point to it other than you get to see some competitive hockey against guys that, I like that guy from that team, and now they're playing together type of thing.
Well,
it used to be like the U.S. versus the world type of thing, and that failed. They did that for 2 years, and they found out what was happening is that, unfortunately, the U.S. players were getting their rear ends kicked because the international team was built with basically guys that were a lot better overall.
And you
So
mentioned
they
something
stopped.
there that I really appreciated about these All-Star games is when you see guys playing together that are like Hall of Famers and they would never play together. And it's so cool to see them. That was the cool thing for football where like you have Peyton Manning throwing passes to Donald Driver.
But
or
I mean,
whoever.
couldn't you do like flag football? Wouldn't you watch that?
No, it's like I'm just if we're gonna do that,
I'm just
if-
throwing
if-
out.
if
I'm not
Tyler
saying I would
Huntley's
watch
gonna be
it.
a Pro Bowler. Like I don't care.
Just give them a certificate and let them move on. Let them get their contract incentive, which is all going to come out of contracts now. They're not going to put a Pro Bowl
These guys
incentive in their contracts.
They don't
anymore.
care about is the game where even was the game. I don't think it was Hawaii anymore. These guys are all
No,
around
they moved
each
it.
other.
They moved it to the same city that the Super Bowl was in, and they did
That's
it
right.
like the week before or something like that. or
I
the
think this is
weekend
the right
before.
decision. You can't even sit there and go, oh, this guy's a 7-time Pro Bowler. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah, it's all. I remember the NBA one this year. They tried to jazz it up by going to the world versus the U.S. thing, and it
And
still
that
was
didn't
just
work.
Nobody cared.
Yeah. Oregon's partnership with DAZN, apparently. Right? Am I saying that right?
DAZN.
DAZN. Okay.
DUHZONE.
See, that's the way it.
Duh, like Simpsons.
DAZN.
Zone.
Dope. Got better?
Very good.
All right. It's The Drive. It's the Sports Animal Audio Network, and we're going to be back with the last segment in hour number 2 here for a weekend eve.
Live on stations throughout Oregon. We're sorry, we couldn't stop them.
This isn't a negotiation.
Broadcasting from the Emerald City, Eugene, this is The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Jansen Beach, Clackamas, Beaverton, Salem, and Eugene, Video Only.
You've got 60 minutes to dominate your lunch break. No timeouts. Just one shot to eat like a legend. Introducing the $11 Killer Box Lunch only at Killer Burger in Eugene. That's a pint burger, small fries, and a fountain drink, all for just $11. Killer Burger, brought to you by another Eugene legend, LaMichael James. The $11 Killer Box Lunch only at Killer Burger on Coburg Road in Eugene.
I've seen it, I've covered it. I'm Alex Rogers, your local farmer's agent in West Eugene. When you need auto, home, life, or business insurance, Farmers can help you protect everything you've worked so hard to achieve. I really enjoy what I do, and I can help you understand all your coverage options. When I'm your farmer's agent, you're not stuck at the mercy of some computer. I'm your advocate when you need help. Visit my office today at 1154 Garfield Street here in Eugene, or give me a call at 541-284-2804.
Oregon. This is our home. From its wide Pacific shore to its majestic peaks and open desert, this state has it all. But one careless spark could take all of this away. Whether you're at home, at play, or on the job, the power and responsibility of wildfire is in your hands. Please, keep Oregon green.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number TC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Sometimes they're right.
I rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Are you allowed to root for both the Ducks and the Beavers? Is that a thing? Can you change teams? Justin tried to watch a movie and was blocked. We need to get that figured out for him. All upcoming. Appointment Radio. And on the video. YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can see us there as we are heading into hour number 3 of The Drive. This last little segment here is we're going to talk about a partnership that Oregon has formed, and also with the Big Ten, with a Japanese company, DAZN. DAZN.
The zone.
DAZN.
Nice
Got
job.
it. Thank you. I had
Like
to
get in the
write it out
zone.
phonetically.
AutoZone.
Because it's spelled, the acronym is DAZN. So I don't know how you get DAZN out of that, but I trust you, Goose, implicitly and completely. The Oregon Mac Clinics hotline, toll free 877-844-3484. In Eugene, it's 541-844-3484. Live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. If you missed the first part of the program, you missed Angie Machado, who jumped in the first hour, Talk Oregon State. We heard from Mitch Dolan as well, and Matt Dompe from the Eugene Emeralds, who dropped us off some vouchers for the playoff series. We're going to start giving those away starting tomorrow. We talked about who the villain was or is of college football, and all of that will be on the podcast. Sports Animal EUG. That's how you find us. All right. So this partnership, University of Oregon Big Ten Network and DAZN, the world's leading sports entertainment platform. This has got press release written all over it. A coordinated content and distribution effort that will build on the momentum of Oregon's football summer trip to Japan. You heard about that. We talked about it. Dan Lanning and 7 Oregon student athletes traveled to Tokyo back in June for the Tokyo Oregon Football Showcase. And so an agreement through the Big Ten, DAZN will be streaming all Big Ten football games internationally. That's new. And Oregon's home game against Portland State is going to be free for fans in Japan. Growing the game internationally, guys.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I went over there. Also, probably a chance that there could be some NIL money over there. Maybe you're dealing with some advertisers over there, and you think there could be some NIL.
Goose is already on it.
I'm going to assume that it has a little bit of part of that. And yeah, for fans, I think a lot of fans like me for the last month or so have been saying, why in the world did this game get moved to a Friday? And I'm sure the people in Portland are even less excited about it because they hate driving down for it. But I think now we know that this was moved for the idea that the Big Ten was going to do this. So there is your answer.
So I looked at the pricing. So I can't convert too quickly the Japanese dollars to United States dollars.
Yeah.
But in Canada, it's going to be $35 a month or $250 a year. In the UK, it's an annual plan of 120, I believe it's euros a year. So that's not too bad, it doesn't seem like, but it is interesting, right? Because it seems like it's Japan, but then it's also some of these other markets, the Pacific. It sounds like the United Kingdom. It is a classic Oregon thing to do. They're on the forefront of this. I do 100% think that the NIL stuff, like you are probably right on the money with that. Like this is all to get more dollars in there, to get another market in there. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Ducks really grew that brand over in Japan. Honestly.
Well, they are going to grow the brand because they are going to be sharing their original programming with DAZN, including the Ducks versus Them series. They're going to collaborate in social content. So DAZN, by the way, 140,000 live events annually, and they're available in over 200 markets worldwide. They're the home of soccer, boxing, MMA, as well as the NFL Game Pass and NHL TV internationally. They're really big into, you'd love this, Baby J, if you look down at the bottom about DAZN. They're big into the beautiful game and also the NBA, Formula One, MotoGP. And so, yeah, this is an interesting collaboration. And again, the game is becoming worldwide. So Oregon's game against Portland State will be seen free in Japan. So if there's anybody within sound of my voice that's going to Japan that weekend, just hang
Good
out.
for you.
You get to watch it for free. Hopefully it will be in your hotel.
And if you're driving up from Portland that weekend, you get to get stuck in traffic on your way up and back. Also, the good folks in Japan can watch it.
Yeah. Are you a fan of the Friday night game?
I live in town. It doesn't bother me. I'm just saying, if I lived in Portland, I wouldn't be too stoked about one of my 7 chances to tailgate being not quite.
You got to basically take the day off.
You got to take the day off, basically, don't you?
No, you do. Yeah, you do. All right, we come back next hour. It's the Party Power Hour. Are you allowed to root for both the Ducks and the Beavers? Justin tried to watch a movie last night. He got blocked. He got put in the penalty box. Major League pitches a free agency frenzy period similar to the NFL and NBA. Check in with the Portland Fire as well. As we continue on the drive.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of the drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Hi, this is Drew from Dalton Carpet on West 11th in Eugene.
At Mercedes-Benz of Eugene, we do things a little bit differently. We're one of the last independently owned automotive dealerships with a young and energetic sales staff, no pressure sales tactics, and you don't have to travel outside of Linn County to get the best deal possible. We have more than 200 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock now, and we invite you to come see for yourself at Mercedes-Benz of Eugene.
Come and relive your childhood at A&J Sports Cards. They have a wide variety of sports cards and memorabilia. Eugene's home for collecting is A&J Sports Cards. Whether you're looking for the stars from the past or the present, you'll find them at A&J Sports Cards. They are here to meet your hobby needs. That's A&J Sports Cards, 1478 West 6th Avenue, 541-343-5561.
Your best coverage of the Oregon Ducks is this fall right here on the Sports Animal Audio Network. 3.5 hours before every Oregon football game, we will be live with interviews, a breakdown of the game, coverage of all the games in the Big Ten, Pac-12, and Top 25, along with ways for you, the fans, to join in. If you're in Eugene for the game, we'll be live from the Mercedes-Benz USA Eugene lot on MLK Boulevard. Stop by for some treats, games, and the best coverage of the Ducks by anyone. The Unauthorized Tailgate Show. We might not have the official stamp, but we wipe out the competition on our coverage. This fall, each week, the Unauthorized Oregon Tailgate Show, presented by Mercedes-Benz USA of Eugene, our friends at Cokewell Casino and Resort, Tracktown Pizza, Mid-Valley Tractor, and the Back Nine.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
KORE, Springfield, Eugene. I'm Steve Mims. You can listen to me on The Drive weekdays from 3 to 6 on the Sports Animal Eugene.
Doesn't get any better than that, kids.
That's a banger.
You start out your party power hour with a little collaboration between Eddie Murphy and Rick James. I believe there was a little snow in the room when this track was laid down. Thanks for tuning in to the Sports Animal Audio Network and The Drive here for a Thursday. It's a weekend eve. Thanks for tuning in, and wherever and however on all the social Sports Animal EUG, and of course all across our Sports Animal Audio Network in Klamath Falls, Roseburg, Newport, and Medford. Big day tomorrow. It's high school football for a lot of the state. Probably about 40% of the teams are actually playing games. The rest are going to be in jamborees, but we will be covering it all for you. And if you're listening to the sound of my voice, You will also be able to lock into what we call the final drive at 9:30 tomorrow night. We'll have a scoreboard show that'll cover the state. So tune in right here on the Sports Animal Audio Network, another one of our services that we'll provide throughout the high school football season. So you don't, as you're driving home from the football game that you're going to be attending tomorrow night, just lock your radio into this channel or online at sportsanimaleug.com, and we'll have all the scores for you and some game reports, interviews, as we will take you all the way up to 11 o'clock. So 9:30 to 11 every Friday night here on the Sports Animal Audio Network. All right, boys. The Party Power Hour. Are you allowed to root for both the Ducks and the Beavers? And then some follow-ups. What are the rules on choosing teams to be a fan of? So that's a different conversation. And can you change teams? So let's start with, are you allowed to root for both the Ducks and the Beavers? I will start. Of course you are. My brother went to Oregon State. I have many friends that have attended or are fans of Oregon State. I have friends that work at Oregon State. I can root for them, except when they're playing Oregon, if I'm an Oregon fan. And I think it's interesting that there are fans that will say, nope, one or the other, that's it. And there are others that are going to be, yeah, but. So that's where I land on it. Goose, you want to take it next?
Well, as Justin knows, I'm not a sports fan. I'm a sports thinker.
Which we appreciate, by the way.
And I learned this. So my sports etiquette, I learned from my wonderful father, the late, great Burke Mims, who was a fan of the Beavers, the Ducks, the Pilots, the Vikings, the Blazers, the Portland Beavers,
Oregon
the Timbers. If you were from Oregon, he was a fan of your team. And so that was how I learned it. And he rooted for, if the Duck game was on at noon, he rooted for them. And if the Beaver game was on at 4, he rooted for them.
But what about the Civil War?
That was what I was at.
Was he Switzerland when it came to the Civil
he's
War?
a pilot. He's in the he was a University of Portland grad. He's in the University of Portland Hall of Fame, by the way. And so he would be, he was probably rooting for probably whoever it mattered for most. Like if one team was playing for something big, he probably would have rooted for them.
Or the underdog?
Or kind of the coach he liked the best. But it would have been, but he would always root for, if you were from Oregon, he rooted for him. So I believe in it. And I will say, I was talking with somebody today who was a Beaver fan or a Duck fan. He was like, I find this Jamarcus Shepard pretty hard to root against. I really like that guy. I think I'm kind of, I'm hoping he does well. And my personal experience on the list of the favorite coaches that I ever covered in terms of human beings, Wayne Tinkle's on that list. I thought Wayne Tinkle, I liked hanging out with Wayne Tinkle quite a bit and, kind of hanging out for games because he would just BS and talk to you kind of off the record and kind of fun. So I am all in on the fact that if you want to root for both of them, go for it. And I do have family that does that, and I'm fine with that.
So am I.
I think we've heard some Beaver fans say that about Dan Lanning, where they're like, I don't like the Ducks, but Dan Lanning, man, he says the right things.
Yeah.
And so I think that you can. And
a little cross envy, though. It's like, I would really want him to be my coach.
Yeah, well, meanwhile, our guy is over here, not doing anything.
Right. No, I think I'm in pretty much agreeing with you guys that you can be a fan of whoever you want to be a fan of, and you're allowed to. I think when people get annoyed, it's stuff like, okay, you've never been to the place before, or you just saw them on TV, or you're in LA, but you're rooting for a team that's in the Bay or something like that. So that's I almost think we need to evolve the conversation there, because there's some interesting rules. And I personally get asked all the time because I'm a Cubs, Packers, and Bulls fan. So you notice there's 2 Chicago and 1 Wisconsin there. So people always are asking me, well, how is this possible? Why aren't you a Bears fan?
It's how you grew up.
That's how I grew up. I didn't become a football fan until I lived in Wisconsin. And my mom, who maybe get mad at my mom about it because she converted from being a Bears fan to a Packers fan. So I never was a Bears fan. I never switched or anything like that. I've always grown up with my teams. That being said, I also think that there can be legitimate reasons to switch teams. I don't think that we should have this sort of, whatever team that you were born next to, and you're going to die rooting for this team. So I do think it's an interesting conversation.
And you can chime in if you want. The Oregon Man Clinics hotline, 877-844-3484. In Eugene, 541-844-3484. I'll take this next one because I think the rules on choosing a team, I think it's been influenced, and Mims, you can relate to this, with a couple of when we had the remember the super stations?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the
TBS
WGNs
and
and stuff?
TBS.
And they would, before, people, there's a whole generation that I'm speaking to right now that had no idea that there was just small pockets and there wasn't a lot of sports on television at all.
Mm-hmm.
And you only had 4 channels. Sometimes we started with 3 and then we had 4. And then, we had the public channel, which didn't air any sports. But for Braves fans and Cubs fans, they had, and even WPIX in New York for the Mets or the Yankees, there was this fan growth that came because they were the only team you could actually watch on a regular basis. And so then you became fan of the team because it was like that's what you were exposed to over and over and over again. Now, there was already a groundswell of support for Cubs and Braves fans, but I think for the Braves especially, they grew a national audience because of TBS.
Yep.
Do you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I know people out in Oregon. Now, part of that was also a Dale Murphy thing. There were a lot of people out here who were Dale Murphy
I agree
fans,
with that.
so it
Yep.
gets us back to that one there. I'll tell you, in terms of changing, I do not believe you should be able to change the team you have. I think that once you take them, it's like your child. That's your team you get. I will say this. My brother, the great Kevin Mims, had a rule back in.
Did you have to call him the great Kevin Mims every time you talked about it?
In the early 90s, he was more of an NFL fan than anything else. And he said, all right, if you want to change your NFL team, you can only do it if one of 2 things happens.
Okay, what are they?
Either they move the team, or they signed Vinny Testaverde at quarterback. And those were the 2 rules. Unless those 2 things happened, you couldn't change your
poor
team.
Vinny.
So that was I always remember that rule. But no, I believe you're with them and you stick with. Now again, if they move, I can get where a Sonics fan can pick a new team because they don't want to follow the other one.
Baltimore in the dark of night went
I'll get
to
the moving one. I'll give you that. But other than that, I think you need to stick with them till the end.
I don't know if I agree with this, Mims. I don't know. I think
well, then bring up what you want to object to.
So
then.
I think your friend was saying it in jest with the Vinny Testaverde thing.
No, I
but
think
I
that
think
was
that like if I'm a Cleveland Browns fan and they signed Deshaun Watson, I'm done. I'm just done.
So you want the character? You're out if they sign somebody you think is below
a certain level of character.
character.
It's not just everyone. I don't just mean if there's a single. Listen, we're Packer fans, and they have Josh Jacobs right now, who things aren't looking so good for. So I'm not sitting here and saying that. Oh gosh, like I have the moral high ground with the teams that I choose. But I do think that there are certain things where it's like if someone in the organization is making a certain decision that reflects on the whole team, really, it's not just the individual, it really is the whole team. So I think that could be a part of it. And then just me personally, I would say that my initial fandom as a Wisconsin Badgers fan became sort of mixed because, I haven't lived in Wisconsin for however many years. And then I went to the University of Oregon. So it's like I sort of at a certain point, I stopped following the Badgers so much, and I started just becoming naturally because I was going to the school and all this other stuff. I just sort of became more of a duck guy, obviously.
So I think there can be a case to be made that a rule on choosing a team to be a fan of, and can you change teams? So when I was working in the High Plains and I was aligned with Kansas State, I became a fan of Kansas State. Now I'm still a fan of Oregon, and I am not like
you're
you.
kind of adding, not switching.
Right. I was adding. I was piling on. So I'm not a thinker like you, Steve. So I do actually have fandom.
Okay.
So and I'm all right with that. And I can actually pocket that fandom and stay down the road, and I can be critical of a team or another. But like my father didn't like Notre Dame, but I kind of liked Notre Dame when I was growing up in the Midwest outside the Chicagoland area, because when you think about it, in Chicago itself, and Illinois wasn't that great at that time. There was either Wisconsin, there was Illinois, but then Notre Dame, there was a huge influence in the Chicagoland area for Notre Dame.
By the way, one of the teams I was maybe going to bring up as a villain of college football
was Notre Dame.
I think they've become less so with Marcus Freeman. I think Marcus Freeman's made them much more
I
likable.
do think, though, the whole idea of, there's a special case for us for everything, and we're independent, and if we're in the top 12, then
now
we're
we're going back to a different conversation. Can we stay on this one, please?
I know.
Please, can we stay on this one? I let you guys talk. Let me just have this
I'm with
just for a second. So, I mean, in terms of changing teams, I think there are certain boundaries you can have. But here's the one hard and fast rule for me about changing a team. Just because they're in a mire and a muck and they're not winning, you don't abandon your team. You don't abandon your squad.
It's the same thing with what Justin's talking about, because your fandom is a lifelong deal. We're talking, we normally take them at about 10 and we take them to 90. You're going to have some bad actors. You're going to have some Deshaun Watsons that come along. You can't bail every time there and then go to the other one, because like I say, you find the team that doesn't have a guy who's breaking a law, or maybe you don't like a little bit here. I'm sure so that's why I say you just got to kind of weather the years when, it's like being I don't know if you're a Blazers fan. The last 3 years, it's not. I'm not even talking about the jail Blazers. I'm just saying, like, the last years when they were tanking. It's like, well, I'd like to quit being a fan of this team because they're not even trying to win for 3 years. But you got to stick with them and see what happens. Same thing with if you were a Trailblazer fan during the jail Blazer years. You can't get out unless they had signed Vinny Testaverde.
And by the way,
unlikely.
And by the way, for everybody, for transparency as well, the Oregon Man Clicks hotline at 877-844-3484. Would love to have you chime in, even if it's just to say, this is the team I'm a fan of, and I don't need to explain it. 541-844-3484, locally in Eugene, live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. It's Danny, it's Justin, and it's Steve. So, by the way, you say you're a thinker, but you are a fan of teams.
I'm a fan of the Royals, the Cowboys, Blazers. That's it.
Okay, but so you are a fan.
Correct.
Okay.
Of those three.
Yeah. So you are not a collegiate fan.
I don't have a team that I root for in college.
And why is I want to unpack this a little bit. Why is that? Because you covered teams so much that so you wanted to compartmentalize that instead of, I can't be writing about something and then be a fan of somebody else or be a fan of this team. Am I getting on the right track?
I believe once you get into journalism, you're not rooting for teams that you're covering. I think that's sort of goes against.
So if you weren't covering Oregon, would you have been a fan of Oregon? You'd
have to put me in a Back to the Future and take me back 30 years, because I started covering Oregon when I was in college at the Emerald. That was 1993. So
did you go to Oregon, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did you become a Royals fan?
I was about 8 years old, and there was a bowl of cereal with a card in it. My brother said, "What's your favorite team?" And I said, "I don't have one." And he said, "Whoever card you pull out, that's your favorite team." And I got Freddie Patek.
Really? This is fascinating. This is why I love sports.
This is why I love asking the question.
You have stuck with them ever since.
Ever since I pulled Freddie Patek out of a cereal box in probably 1979.
Isn't it strange that I became a Packer fan at 8 years old? Because that's the first time I ever went to Lambeau Field. That's at 8 years old. That's crazy to me. So Freddie Patek.
That's crazy.
And as I tell people, it could have been Reggie Jackson. I could have gotten a Yankee pull out of there, and I'd had a World Series and a great time for 30 years. But
I thought you had some connection, honestly. I always thought
it's just a cereal bowl.
Have you ever gone?
Huh?
Have you ever gone
to Kansas City?
Yeah, to watch some games.
No, I've never been to Kaufman. No, I went there to watch the Ducks in the
All right, so there's a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
We're gonna raise some money. We're gonna send Goose to Kaufman
Send
Stadium.
Goose to watch his favorite team.
We can do a
I like
report.
this idea.
Especially he's got a kid in college. We need to make sure we can get him
I'll
to
stop in
Kaufman
Iowa on the
Stadium.
way. I can stop in Iowa on the way.
Absolutely. Did you want to dive right back in one last time before we take a break on this, Baby J?
No,
anything on this? Okay,
I think that you basically have the right to do whatever you want to do. Ultimately, I'm a big, like, if you're a fan, you can fan how you want to fan. You can choose who you want to choose. I am with you for the most part, Goose, on the idea of mostly you should stick with your teams, but I do think there are some special cases where I'm okay with it.
Okay, well, I'm glad we saw that. So we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, again, this is a sports adjacent conversation that we're going to have next. Do you have your streaming services lined up? And we might need the fans' help here to assist Baby J here, because he's trying to find Major League and be able to watch it, because we've given him homework and he's not been able to finish off the homework, and the dog has not eaten the homework yet. We'll talk about it next, how Baby J is trying to watch Major League and he can't find it. The Oregon Man Clicks hotline, 541-844-3484, toll free 877-844-3484. Live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios, this is The Drive.
Danny, Steve, and Justin are back.
Yeah, and we always go to breaks exactly at the second you put on there. We never run long or anything.
Exactly.
The Sports Animal Audio Network is on the air.
None of us ever go over because we just love that.
This is The Drive.
At Mercedes-Benz of Eugene, we do things a little bit differently. We're one of the last independently owned automotive dealerships With a young and energetic sales staff, no pressure sales tactics, and you don't have to travel outside of Lane County to get the best deal possible. We have more than 200 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock now, and we invite you to come see for yourself at Mercedes-Benz of Eugene.
Buckle up for another, oh yeah, that's a Pepper thing. First up is Brian. He likes to iron his shirt to look presentable to his can of Dr. Pepper. What a gentleman. That's a Pepper thing. And Harper, who makes her family clap every time she cracks one open. It's a respect thing. It's also a Pepper thing. Next up, Jayden, who wears a blindfold while sipping because he can't handle the beauty of an ice cold Dr. Pepper can. We get it. It's gorgeous. And oh yeah, it's a Pepper thing. Meanwhile, Big Mike has set up a personal wind machine so every sip comes with that slow motion hair moment. So cinematic. That might be the most Pepper thing I've ever seen. And what drives all this? That one-of-a-kind, delicious, unique blend of 23 flavors. It's a Pepper thing.
Welcome back to Yeah, That's a Pepper Thing, where Brad just built a miniature spotlight for his Dr. Pepper. Yeah, that's a Pepper thing. Grab a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper at your local retailer today. It's a Pepper thing.
All bets are on at the Three Rivers Casino Resort Sportsbook in Florence. Bet 24/7 at our kiosks or download the brand new Sportsbook app today and get $10 in free bets. Place wagers right from your mobile device while you relax in your room, hit the casino floor, or grab a bite. Then catch the action on Oregon's largest sports betting screen. Visit threeriverscasino.com/sportsbook to learn more. The Sportsbook at Three Rivers Casino Resort. Winning starts here.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. 800-499-4107. Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number TC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Our version of the Knucklehead Society have a place to talk sports and life with you. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios, you're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Throughout the state of Oregon, we are live on The Drive. Sports Animal Audio Network in Roseburg on the Score. Hello there, Douglas County. Newport, Lincoln County. Jackson, Josephine counties. Got you covered. Klamath County. Hello there. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow on the program, it's Friday. Big show Friday. These guys are going to abandon me by the end of the show. So it'll just be myself, and I. So no big bets. We'll revive big bets next week. So an all football big bets starting next week throughout the end of the football season. Thank goodness for football. So still upcoming on the program, Justin trying to watch Major League. We're going to sort that out for him. We are going to talk about free agency frenzy. MLB is pitching this like that, pitching. Similar to
I
what
didn't even notice that.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, come on now. You wrote it, so
I did.
The
I
NFL,
copied the headline.
NFL and NBA, and then we'll do a quick check in. Portland Fire start. They tip off at 4:30. They're not going to make the postseason as an expansion team their first year in the WNBA, but we'll check in on them as well. Let's head on over to the Oregon Man Coins hotline at 541-844-3484 and welcome in longtime listener and a P1. We call him Boomer Blaine. He's calling in from Springfield, and he and Mims are going to go mano y mano here from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. Boomer, how you doing, bud?
I'm awesome. How are you guys?
Oh, we're
Oh,
good.
great.
We're just
I'm
hanging out. You know,
I'm just
We're
here
ready.
flexing, getting ready for a fight.
Oh no fight. Come on.
what's on your mind, buddy?
Major League is easy to find to watch.
Where is
So
You got to
it's
help.
on it's on YouTube and Amazon Prime.
it? Okay, so I don't have Prime. That's one of the issues. It is on YouTube though.
It is on YouTube.
Okay. Do I have to pay for it on YouTube?
Oh God, here we go.
Probably
I don't
like
know,
$3.
'cause I pay for
I am not.
YouTube,
I
so
am
I'm
not.
not sure.
Oh,
I'm
got
not
it.
doing
Okay.
a GoFundMe for your
No,
YouTube
I'm
to
just
watch
wondering.
Major League.
See, I'm fine with pay. It's like
We're doing a GoFundMe to get me to Kauffman Stadium.
if you're gonna
here.
rent a movie for $3.99,
Go to Bend.
I want to
and
know
go
if
to
I'm gonna
Bend.
like it.
Go to Bend and go to Blockbuster, and you can rent it there.
doesn't
I'm sure
exist
it's
anymore.
there. Yeah, I'm
There's
sure.
no Blockbuster. The last one's in Alaska. Actually, no, it is in Oregon now.
No, it's in Bend.
Yeah, there were the last 3 out of the last 4 though were in Alaska.
All right, Boomer. I'm sure that's not what you were calling in for.
Well, it was one of them, but Mims, do you really want to talk about the least liked 5A basketball?
Oh, please.
I love this. I thought I was, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the least.
Get him to stutter, please.
I would
for
like
me.
to get your thoughts on that. I know Chris Roach is at the top of most people's list. I've got you at the top still, but then Chris Roach is right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go through. Who are your least favorite 5A boys basketball coaches?
I was going to say it's probably me. That's what I was going to say.
Well, when you
But,
were going to
no, I
blame,
love-
when you were going to get upset about Mario Cristobal as a villain because he left, I was going to say that would be like me hating Doug Paquette because he left Thurston, but I love him because he set us up for the Blaine era. So sometimes you gotta love the guy who comes first and sets it up.
All right, so Boomer, in all transparency, I am putting your quote back up on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Maybe not villains of college football for me, but as an Oregon fan, Mario Cristobal in Miami, Ryan Day in Ohio State, Cristobal for obvious reasons, and I just don't like Ryan Day. Just my opinion. Your floor now.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it?
Ryan Day's easy. I don't like his face. So.
the red
but for
cheeks?
Mario,
Super Mario.
it's the red cheeks, the just for men in his beard.
No, what are you talking about? That's all legit.
Oh, the just for men. That's awesome.
But for Mario, like it's more just it's not about his time at Oregon. It's about like he's so rigid and just doesn't seem to have fun with anything, even when he was here. And so you look at like the best thing Mario did, in my opinion, was leave so Dan Lanning could get here. And thankful for that. Like obviously thankful for the things that he did at his time here, but gosh, he's just so rigid. And that's why I guess as an Oregon fan, even when he was here, I was like, man, like loosen up a little bit and have a little bit of fun and act like you enjoy what you're doing. And so as an Oregon fan, for me, that's why he's a villain for me. And the way that he left just felt a little, I don't know, like slimy, I guess. Oh, I'm going to say
He's going
I'm
to
gonna
his
be here,
alma.
or I
I
gotta
mean,
go.
he was going to his alma mater, and he was going back. His mom was
I
ill.
get that.
I mean, I've always said I'm not going to kill that guy for doing that. I'm not.
It just for some reason it just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? And maybe that's because I'm an Oregon fan, but really just the brunt of it to me just comes to like he's so rigid. You watch him even on Pat McAfee. He was on Pat McAfee multiple times this past year, and like Pat's trying to joke around with him, and Mario literally doesn't smile. And it's like, dude, come on, man. Not everything is so serious. Have a little bit of fun with what you're doing. And so to me, and he was like that at Oregon too. It seemed like. So that's why he's a villain to me, is because like he's just not likable, in my opinion.
You want I get that part. Yeah, my point is people who are like, hey, I can't believe he left us. It's like, there was a 4-8 Helfrich year followed by a one and done year, and he at least stabilized things so that somebody like Dan Lanning would want to come in. So that's why I don't understand when people are like, I hate Mario. It's like, but wait a minute. He stabilized things and it allowed to have Lanning come in and to get it there. I'm with you on the rigid. He definitely is not the guy that you're going to want to go sit down and have a beer with and crack a few jokes with. He's definitely a little bit more serious than that, but that's his deal. I mean, that's his.
Wouldn't that be his persona though? I mean, he might be a guy that you would go have a beer with, but when he's on mic or he's on point or he's at his job, people are different when they're at their jobs than they are when they're away from their jobs, right? They can be. I mean, I hope you are.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, and the McAfee thing, maybe he, again, some of those guys almost
Guarded.
play up to
He's
it
guarded.
or try to play up. Yeah, he definitely is, and but I respect that if you don't like him for that reason, that's good. I just get frustrated with the people who are like, I hate him because he left us. It's like, well, he kind of left for his alma mater, and he's done okay, and you didn't. It's not like him leaving dropped Oregon off the map. They've actually gotten better since he left.
No,
So I think people should appreciate that.
And the reality of the situation is that Dan Lanning is going to leave at some point too.
Sure.
We all have to be prepared for the coach to leave at some point. And if we really want to be honest with ourselves about who the villain is in college football, it might be Oregon.
When I was thinking about this topic, that was one of the teams that I think was mentioned. Is that some people mentioned Oregon with the money thing and
they're
fact
trying to
that
buy a
they're-
championship and
Yeah,
flash and glitz and
I don't know how much I buy that
The
on
money,
a national level.
the
I mean, I
Nike.
get it, but
Yeah.
I feel like they're so influential in
Aren't
all
we
these
a
positive ways. I don't know.
capitalist society, though. I mean, aren't we a capitalist
For the
society?
same
We're
reason
not-
as your Texas Tech thing. People don't like the new guy who comes in because it's supposed to be
Pocket
supposed to
full
be
of cash.
Alabama and those teams are winning. And when somebody comes in and pays money to be good, people get mad. But that's the same thing you said about Tech.
So, Boomer, before I let you go, would it be easy? Would it be easier on you, or would you have less hate for Mario Cristobal if he wasn't as successful as he has been at Miami?
To me, it has nothing to do with his success at Miami. I mean, Miami's always been easy for me to root against. I've never historically been a fan of them, and I'm just not historically a fan of him. So it has nothing to do with success per se. It's just more of it's an era where like so much is seen. Like just be consistent and be yourself. So
okay,
and if that's how he is, if he wants to be all rigid and everything, then fine. That's just not my cup of tea. I like a little more loose and free and having fun.
All right, bud. Well, that's what you are.
That's why we
you're
like.
Boomer.
That's why we like Goose. Or that's why we like Boomer.
Well, you're
'Cause he's
Goose.
loose and rigid.
I'm
happy free.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate the
And-
call. Yeah.
Hey, one more thing.
Sure.
By the way, I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. I'm an Atlanta Braves fan. I believe they're up 1-0 right now. The Braves are.
They are.
Yeah, still are. Yep.
But my wife is a massive Packers fan. I took her to a game at Lambeau last year, and that was the greatest sports experience I've ever had in my life. And I was able to buy her a share in the Packers, so she's a quote unquote part owner. And the Falcons are making it really difficult to not become a Packers fan. Just saying.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, there you go. We'll welcome you into the club. That's fine. Your wife will
You're allowed to
can
do it.
convert it. Okay.
I
Thanks,
thought
man.
Boomer. I
Thanks, guys. Enjoy your day.
I thought the greatest sporting event you ever attended was WrestleMania.
Well, Well, I guess it depends on your definition of sport.
Beautiful.
We can make that another call for another time. I can get on here and talk wrestling all day.
Okay. Well,
Perfect,
we'll have you
perfect.
on. We'll talk WWE with you next time. Thanks, Boomer.
Thanks, man.
Have a great day, guys.
You too.
Thank you. The Oregon Man Clinics hotline. The lines are open at 541-844-3484, 877-844-3484. So, Baby J, this segment that we were going to talk about, you were trying to watch Major League. Now you go to YouTube
Amazon Prime, apparently.
or Amazon
Wow.
Prime. Listen, I can help. We don't need to do GoFundMe. We're going to
I just
concentrate
don't
on
currently
Goose's.
have it.
No, we can concentrate on Goose's GoFundMe. We can definitely get you some Amazon Prime love. Okay.
All right.
All right. So, are you going to watch it this weekend then? Major League
this
this
weekend's
week?
a tough weekend for me. Busy. I'm doing a lot.
There we go.
I'm not saying
There we
I
go.
can't. Yesterday was the night. Yesterday was a really good night for me. We'll try.
When we come back, Major League Baseball is pitching like a frenzy period for free agency, similar to the NFL and NBA. Good thing, bad thing, indifferent. We'll discuss next on The Drive.
Live on stations throughout Oregon. We're sorry, we couldn't stop them.
This isn't a negotiation.
Broadcasting from the Emerald City, Eugene. This is The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
Summer, the sun, the sand. How could things be any better? Actually, you know what sounds kind of good? Chicken bones. Yeah. That would make things better. All you could eat wings for $27.95 and dollar beers from Cold Fire Cold Store? That would really make things better. Ooh, and the sauces. The sauces are to die for. In fact, now I'm kind of hungry. Oh, man. Now I need to go to Chicken Bones.
Make no bones about it. Chicken Bones has the best wings in Lane County. All you can eat wings, great sauces, and awesome burgers. Open daily at 11 a.m. on Pioneer Parkway in the Safeway Center. Check us out on Facebook or call 541-726-0111. That's 541-726-0111. Chicken Bones, chicken with an attitude.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Sports fans, you know weekends belong to sports. And Fox has more sports than any other broadcast station. From NFL to UFL, MLB to MLS, plus the best in college football and Big Noon Saturday. The best in sports, only on Fox.
Get your news, get your weather and sports, and get to bed. Fox 34 News at 10, Western Oregon's only 10 o'clock news.
Beaver Nation, this is your moment to be part of something bigger. Oregon State football is building the future, and we want you with us at Reser Stadium this fall. With 2026 mini plans, you can secure your seats for some of the biggest games of the season and experience the energy of Beaver football your way. Visit beavertickets.com or call 1-800-GO-BEAVS to purchase your mini plan today. Pack Reser, build the legacy. Go Beavs!
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Sometimes they're right.
I rest my case.
Sometimes they're wrong.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
But no ears were harmed in the making of their disagreements.
I don't know what we're yelling about.
You're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
We've got Landon Tegwa on the program tomorrow. The former Penn State offensive lineman who breaks down college football really, really well. He's on YouTube as well. He's got his own show. Joins us regularly on Fridays now throughout the college football season. Baby J, do we have anybody else tomorrow?
Yeah, so I got Eric Scopel lined up as well.
Scopodamus joins us tomorrow. That's
and
awesome.
we have another guest who I'm not going to announce yet. We haven't worked it out, but somebody that we've been talking about getting on the show.
Oh, yes. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
We're going to try to get him on the show.
Good. No, we need to get him early in the show because Goose wants to, lay down in front of him. He thinks that he needs protection.
There's a great meme
from
for
us.
this. There's a great meme.
Okay.
If not this week,
So-
we will make sure that next week.
And I would like to do something regularly with this guest. I'm just saying, because
Absolutely.
I think now that we've established a relationship, I think it's
We're
fair.
trying to, at least.
Well, no. I mean, I think he'll come back. We'll treat him fairly and kindly. Besides what
We can't give
Goose
away too much.
thinks. No, I'm still teasing it. I'm not giving it away. Thanks for tuning into The Drive. We have some fun around here. Oregon Man Clinic's hotline, toll free at 877-844-3484. In Eugene, 541-844-3484, live from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios. I'm Doc. That's Goose, Baby J, and you. Thanks for tuning in. If you missed any of the program, please go back to the podcast. Wherever you podcast, go Sports Animal EUG. That's pretty easy. Sports Animal EUG. I know it's a lot of letters, but you do that. You type it in wherever you're at, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, Amazon. The podcast is up there. We're also on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. with the live video feed of every one of our programs. You can go in the chat room. We'll go ahead and put the comments up there if it's relevant to what we're talking about. Even if it's not, I look at it, and if I say yes, then it goes up there and we discuss. So there we go. So we've covered a lot of stuff already today. Angie Machado's been on the program. Matt Dompe's been here. Matt Dompe from the Eugene Emeralds. Angie Machado is our Beaver Blitz founder, and she talked a lot of Oregon State. Really good insight. And so go back to the podcast and listen to that, or go back and watch it live on the YouTube. You know, pop some popcorn tonight, sit up, put your feet up, and watch it. It's fun. Major League Baseball is pitching a free agent frenzy period. I actually pulled this up, but I want you to dive into this with us. And then Justin, I know this is a topic. Now, once I started reading this, it was like, wow, this is interesting. So Goose, dive in.
Yeah. So the idea would be that when the winter meetings kick off in early December, no free agents can be signed until then. And then once that happens, which normally is like December, the first weekend of December, then from that weekend for about a 2-week period till December 21st, free agents can be signed. If they're not signed by then, they can't sign again until after February. So basically kind of is like the NBA thing, like Justin was talking about, that right after, you know, you're going to have a 2-week thing where you got to sign, because right now, you know, somebody won't sign in the winter meetings, and then it's like a daily, hey, is Bryce Harper going to sign now? Is Schwarber going to sign now? And it's basically going to put they want now kind of that deal to where, hey, for 2 weeks, there's going to be a lot of trades and this kind of thing that's going on.
So there'd be a complete freeze on trades
until the winter meetings
during the gaps.
And then from the 21st until February. So you would have kind of this time where you need to get it done, or else you don't, like I say, Scott Boras couldn't drag things out. And if he did, he'd have to wait another month and a half. So I think it's a cool deal. As a baseball fan, and I love transactions. I'm a fantasy baseball guy too. I love transactions. Sometimes, it's like, it didn't happen in the winter meetings. And then, it's like 3 weeks drag on and nothing. And then maybe another signing. I love the NBA thing where there's like a 2-day tampering period where you can talk to people and then you can start signing and everything comes in. So I'm all in for putting it all together like that.
I love the way you describe that, Goose, is a 2-day tampering period.
It's legal tampering. That's what they say.
It is.
Legal tampering.
It's legal tampering.
Well, the NBA is one of those ones where you see guys that are signing at like, I don't know if what the deadline is. It's 3:00. Then guys are signing at 3:01. And it's like, all right, like they didn't have all these conversations right then. I do think that something that they want to avoid. We see it sometimes with, I remember recently, Jordan Montgomery was somebody that signed incredibly late. Cody Bellinger, Craig Kimbrell. There's a number of guys that they just, they keep waiting and waiting and waiting. I think Snell,
because they're holding out for money. They want more money.
And I think that's as much a Scott Boras thing than anything. But I do think these windows would probably help that. And I think that another thing we have to think about as well is I think the NBA does a better job than and same with the NFL as just marketing the transaction side of it as much as anything. Like we love talking about the NBA, who's going to go where and who's going to ask out and where's this guy going to go. And I think that might partially be because of those windows where it's all happening at one time and there's so much movement. You have to look around and go, all right, well, what's the league look like now? So I think that could be helped out with this sort of move.
So what's interesting, or maybe not interesting about this, as you're locked into the drive here on the Sports Animal Audio Network. Thanks for tuning in wherever you're listening in Klamath Falls, Roseburg, Newport, Medford, and in Eugene, and more stations coming on board next week and the week after. Is the union response to this? Not surprisingly, they don't like it. They are strongly rejecting this plan, saying that you're tying these windows to salary caps that can reduce a player's leverage and their rights. Agree, disagree? I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
does.
limiting the amount of times the days they can sign, then yes, I can see where they're saying that, players might feel pressured on December 20th that, hey, if I don't sign tomorrow, I got to wait till February. And what if the money's gone by February and they come back with a different offer? So I'm sure that's their issue, is that they want to have 365 days a year that they can sign. They don't want you to put any windows on it.
So doesn't this reduce I'm just going to throw it out there, and I know this is going to hit close to home for you, Baby J.
Ready?
Somewhat for the bad Kyle Tucker deals that get made, the Cody Bellinger deals that get made that otherwise would not be made.
No, they're still going to be made.
No, but I mean, I'm talking about overpaying for somebody.
Well, I don't know how much that would have changed the Tucker thing if we're just going to talk about Tucker, because the reason why they were able to do it is because their TV deal. They have this really They have a TV deal.
Maybe a
basically.
bad
They don't
example,
have,
but I think you know
that's
what
fair.
my point is.
I still think we're going to see teams that are going to make sort of these reactionary moves. I think you're always going to see that. You're always going to see teams that have money and are going to be willing to put out a lot of dollars for a guy. But I do think that it would make it so you're not going to see those guys that just hang around forever and forever, like and Jake Arrieta, Yu Darvish. Like, I mean, it's happened for the last 10 years where guys it gets to be spring training and things are starting up and you have guys not signing. So I think that's as much as anything what this is about.
Yeah, no, and I think that you're right on that. And again, Boris likes that. He wants to drag things out and be able
So
to
this
say,
is
"Hey,"
coming from the agents, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure that
gotta be a
again, they
Scott
want to
Boras
have
thing,
they want to have as many days possible to sign their guys. And yeah, you're right. I mean, I can remember again when Bryce Harper had one, and yeah, there always seems like a couple guys going into spring training where they haven't signed yet, and pitchers in particular will sit there and be like, "Hey, let's just wait and see if somebody gets injured in spring training, and then suddenly we're more marketable."
So to recap, the proposed change would be a December window, a 3-week signing period starting on Monday of the winter meetings and then ending on December 21st, then a February window where the free agency would reopen on the first Monday in February before spring training begins. There'd be a trade ban, a complete freeze on all trades during the gap between the two signing windows. Right? Capsulize it? There we go. All right.
So basically GMs can go take vacation for a month.
This is another interesting note that it's kind of snuck in here that maybe we should talk about as well. The MLB is also proposing the use of weekly rosters, which team would set between Sunday night and Monday afternoon. A player on the roster Monday would have to stay on the roster until the following Sunday unless he's placed on the injured list, which should be calculated weekly.
So in other words, you bring a guy up, has a bad outing, you want to send him back down. You can't do that unless they're hurt.
Right. Or a guy has a bunch of innings and you want to bring up a guy that was in AAA that doesn't have as
can't
many
you say
innings.
he's got tendonitis in his elbow?
That's what you're probably going to start seeing is some of these fake injuries.
Fake injuries.
I don't know how they can.
They can't legislate.
Right, and we talked about this in college football. Is how are they going to legislate if somebody's injured or not? You just don't know. So
because then you come out and say, no, if he's not injured, he can play, and then he further injures it. Then you got a big lawsuit on your hands.
All right, let's take our last break, and we come back. Long session at the end of this. We'll check in. The Fire have already started playing. I wanted to talk about a little volleyball. There is an announcement coming from the Big Ten that involves Oregon and Hayward Field. I want to discuss that real quick. Kind of wrap up the news and wrap up the program here for a weekend eve. Thanks for tuning in to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network. We appreciate you throughout the state of Oregon. We'll wrap up the show right after this.
Don't change the channel. Your radio might explode. Okay, not really. But you miss a minute of The Drive, you might miss something, well, spectacular.
On we go.
The Drive is back on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
When you're in Rome, you visit the Colosseum. When you're in France, you visit the Eiffel Tower. And when you're in Eugene...
At Mercedes-Benz of Eugene, we do things a little bit differently. We're one of the last independently owned automotive dealerships with a young and energetic sales staff, no pressure sales tactics, and you don't have to travel outside of Lane County to get the best deal possible. We have more than 200 new and pre-owned vehicles in stock now, and we invite you to come see for yourself at Mercedes-Benz of Eugene.
Of your land, along with strong dealer support. Stop by today to explore our lineup. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% financing or save up to $3,500 plus a first-year K-maintenance service on us. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Mid-Valley Tractor in Eugene. 40 years, family owned. Find them at midvalleytractor.com.
Men like to get the most out of things. We expect results when we hit the gym, and we expect to finish our weekend to-do list. We also expect ourselves to never slow down, even when some things start to get a little harder. Low testosterone levels might be slowing you down. That's when Oregon Man Clinics step in. Sharpen your focus, regain energy levels, and improve your love life with treatment options tailored to you. Get the most out of being a man. Visit us online at our Springfield, Bend, and Albany locations.
Hi, Brad and my son AJ here with a word of encouragement from Cottage Road Chevy. In these uncertain economic times, know that Cottage Road Chevy is here for you today
and tomorrow. Your need for a vehicle isn't going away. We aren't either.
We're proud to serve our customers for over 35 years, and we truly consider it a privilege.
Your support is greatly appreciated.
Cottage Road Chevy is proud to be part of our community, and we're here for you. Thank you.
Your best coverage of the Oregon Ducks is this fall right here on the Sports Animal Audio Network. 3.5 hours before every Oregon football game, we will be live with interviews, a breakdown of the game, coverage of all the games in the Big Ten, Pac-12, and Top 25, along with ways for you, the fans, to join in. If you're in Eugene for the game, we'll be live from the Mercedes-Benz USA Eugene lot on MLK Boulevard. Stop by for some treats, games, and the best coverage of the Ducks by anyone. The Unauthorized Tailgate Show. We might not have the official stamp, but we wipe out the competition on our coverage. This fall, each week, the Unauthorized Oregon Tailgate Show, presented by Mercedes-Benz USA of Eugene, our friends at Coquel Casino and Resort, Tracktown Pizza, Mid-Valley Tractor, and the Back Nine.
Even though the weather is getting warmer, many people in our community are still vulnerable and need your help. Raven, Radical Assistance for Vulnerable Eugene Neighbors, is seeking donations to help those who need it most. Raven is asking for help with water bottles, raincoats, socks, shoes, blankets, tarps, and camping gear, or even a direct cash donation. Donations can be made at Raven distribution sites or via GoFundMe. For more information, visit our website, raveneugene.org. That's RAVEN, Eugene.org.
Danny, Steve, and Justin are back.
Yeah, and we always go to breaks exactly at the second you put on here. We never run long or anything.
Exactly.
The Sports Animal Audio Network is on the air.
None of us ever go over because we just love that.
This is The Drive.
Shout out to Boomer.
Yeah. Good little conversation. I still want to know his least favorite 5A basketball coach, but he's probably smart to keep that to a text rather than go over the air with it.
Probably so.
Portland Fire are back in action tomorrow night, 4:30, I believe. Yeah, right around 4:30. They're on the road taking on the Dream. All right, you get extra points if you know where the Dream are. What city?
Atlanta.
Okay.
They have a dream. They have a dream.
Oh, I never put that together. Never put it together.
Put that together?
Never put it together.
Okay.
There's a lot of things I'm not putting together today.
So they're wanting. I think the last playoff spot's been secured in the WNBA. I believe that was with the Wings as they defeated the Fire the other night. So you've got your lineup set for the postseason and the WNBA. Unfortunately, Fire in their inaugural season at 15-23 did not make the postseason, but they are not by far the worst in the WNBA.
You keep talking about Fire and wings. I'm going to head over to Chicken Bones after this thing. Get myself some extra spicy wings.
Good for you.
We love it.
Great little advertising plug right there, Goose. You're a good man. Thanks for tuning in on the Oregon Man Clinics hotline. 541-844-3484, toll free 877-844-3484, and the drive here for a Thursday, the Sports Animal Audio Network. So the Ducks are hosting the Big Ten Championships, boys. Oregon Track and Field is going to host the 2027 Big Ten Outdoor Championships. The meet's going to take place May 14th through the 16th at Hayward. It'll be the 12th time the Ducks have hosted a conference meet in Eugene, the second time the Big Ten will crown its outdoor champions right here in the Pacific Northwest. U of O hosted in 2025, so they had a year off. They'll also host the 2027 NCAA championships, June 9th through the 12th, just over 3 weeks later. I'm thinking there might be a show or two that we might do down there. What do you guys think?
That'd be fun.
Do you think we could set it up? I think we could talk to the general and see what we can do.
General could help us out.
I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
You know, and this talk, we've had this discussion before about the overall waning of interest in track and field. You don't feel it as much here in Eugene, I don't think, right, Goose? I would say because of the interest overall and the integration of the fan base with the history of track and field here.
Selfishly, I blame the demise of the local newspaper for the lack of it. We used to put out like 24-page sections with form charts for all the events. I think people knew everybody was coming in, and now when big events come into town, I have no idea who's competing when or where, so that's my blame.
So we got breaking news, Baby J?
You want to talk about
I mean, what do we have the breaking news sounder?
We do.
So we can do that. I mean, so, and I agree with you, Goose. So, but I think that in some
people
small way,
still enjoy it, but it's not nearly 5-10 years ago. People, when those trials came to town, everybody knew who it was, and I feel like now they can come. Sometimes those events come and go.
And listen,
the town isn't on fire for it.
We were down there at the Graduate.
We were,
and those interviews that we had
were great
with those athletes, absolutely stellar.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
a
don't know
fan.
where my thingy is.
You don't know where
we've
your
been doing a
thingy
lot
is?
of we've been doing a lot of reorganizing around here. So I
Okay.
need to find it.
So, breaking news: a Dallas judge has just signed an order that prohibits the NCAA, the SEC, and Greg Sankey from stopping a group of athletes.
I believe it.
There we go. 3 of whom are currently listed on NFL rosters from returning to college sports. So, Dallas Cowboys wide receiver Jordan Hudson, Kansas City Chiefs linebacker Wesley Bisanthe, wide receiver Omari Evans are among the 41 players listed as plaintiffs. And this also includes WNBA teams, Christine Iwala and Bailey Maupin. So the case is the latest in a growing number of legal challenges to the NCAA's eligibility rules.
By the way, it's not the same Jordan Hudson that's Belichick's girlfriend.
By the way, I now know I have decided now who is the biggest villain in college football.
Okay.
The NC2A. Because they have no power to enforce anything. They have no desire to get out and enforce everything. Because of their lack of ability to enforce anything, we have every day a new lawyer that's getting new players eligible. And so the NC2A and Charlie Baker are my villains.
We discussed this the other day where this is pushing us towards, and I think you were listening to part of this conversation, pushing us towards we need a commissioner, not just for college football, but for everything. And somebody who has, but that means we need a CBA.
Mm-hmm.
The only way that works.
Goose, the tipping point was like, where did it become? Because I don't think it was always like this. I think there was some point along the way here where
it was the COVID year. It was the free COVID year that set everything apart. And suddenly, then they stopped. And then it used to be the one transfer, and you had to sit out. It felt like that COVID year. Suddenly, then they had to eliminate the ability to transfer, and that's when everything to me kind of changed. Because we still have guys who are in college that have a COVID year is the reason that they're in on that.
Also, that was the bag of worms.
Correct. More breaking sports news.
Sure.
Former Oregon quarterback Luke Moga looks like he is now the starting quarterback at New Mexico because their starting quarterback Jack Lane has just been declared out for the year with an injury.
Former Oregon high schooler. I don't remember what school it was. Was it Jesuit maybe?
I forget that, but he's out, and it sounds like former Duck Luke Moga could be starting.
Interesting. And by the way, whether it's Friday Night Lights or everyday life, every winning team needs a strong defense. For a local insurance coverage you can count on. Score big with Mike Tingyu, State Farm Insurance in Eugene. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So tomorrow on the program, it's a Friday getaway day, and your phone calls will be welcome and your participation. Toll free on the Oregon Man Clinics hotline, 877-844-3484. Toll free. And in Eugene, 541-844-3484, live from the Bigfoot Beverages studios, as we will have tomorrow on the program. Landon Tengwall will join us. A mystery guest who we're trying to
effort.
Okay. And then we also have Eric Skopeldamus. So we'll have plenty of Oregon coverage. We'll have plenty of national and Big Ten coverage. So Landon Tengwall, if you haven't heard Landon, Really encourage you to tune into the program tomorrow. Are you okay over there, Goose? You want to rattle the ice a little bit more while we're doing this on the air? So Landon,
still learning this whole radio thing.
I love Landon for the fact that he is one of those guys that just unbiased. He's like Goose on steroids, and believe me, he's got the arms, the legs, and the ink to show that. He basically just breaks down the games and position groups really, really well. So I'll be interested to hear his perspective tomorrow on some of this other stuff that's going on, the kerfuffle in the course. Boys, nice show today. Let's close it out with dad joke. You ready?
Do it.
What did the horse say after it tripped?
Hey.
Now, what did the horse say after it tripped? You want to chime it? Okay. Help! I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
It's true, Goose. It's true.
It's true. Jack Blaine played at Lake Oswego by the
Lake
way.
Oswego. You're watching tomorrow night.
Beautiful. All right, boys. God bless. Be well. Put a smile on your face. Someone else's. They deserve it. So do you. For all of our affiliates as well in Klamath Falls, Roseburg, Newport, Medford. Soon expanding further. Thanks for tuning in, friends. We'll be back tomorrow with the program in 21 hours here on The Sports Animal. God bless. Be well. Put a smile on your face. Someone else. They deserve it too.
Our version of the Knucklehead Society have a place to talk sports and life with you. Broadcasting from the Bigfoot Beverages Studios, you're listening to The Drive on the Sports Animal Audio Network.
CCB number 195698. JT Bailey here.